Where is? Oh, that's my mango juice. All right, let's see. Are we live? I think we're live now. Okay, let's see. Go to YukiTubi. All right. Yes, so we're live. All right. All right. So let's see if we can get a few patrons to come in and I'll do a little midday market recap. Speak about well, it's actually the lunchtime hour, so this is the perfect time when the market's kind of at a stalemate a little bit, or it's more riskier to trade stocks, as they say, during the lunch hour or this particular time of day. Because a lot of the algorithm bots are trading, and a lot of the real retail investors are kind of pulling back and going to get lunch and stuff like that. So a lot of uncertain movement can happen in the market, which will cause a lot of fake you know values. Okay. Oh, my alert's going off from my stock. So I have alerts set for certain stocks when they're downtrending and uptrending. So that gives me an indication that the stock is moving in the direction I chose it to be in. This one particular one is a short sale that I'm shorting right now, and it's going beautiful. I mean, I'm seeing like 7 big red candles on the way to the downside here. Stock called ACAD, ACAD Pharmaceuticals, actually, it's a biotech company. Ticker symbol ACAD. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull that up and that chart up so we can share screen and see how this thing's going. Welcome to the bill, Miss Monica, the wonderful Iyaba, the one and only tax and business and and grant and you name it guru. Welcome to the bill as always, Iyaba. Welcome as always. All right, so once again, just kind of doing like I did yesterday. I want to get in the habit of trying to have any little moments when I can. Uh, I guess I can't say I'll be able to do it every single day, but I'll try to make the best of it when I am able to do it. I actually got some business errands to run too in the next hour. And after this hour pullback, I got some packages to mail off for clients. CMOS, opposite brother Alex. New packages on the way, and also some other stuff to drop off in the mail. Um, Welcome to the bill, brother Sean. Welcome, Oba. Welcome. Great Oba. I'm happy to see you guys here. Like I said, it's just a little intimate value and us just kind of discussing some of the stuff we're seeing midday in the market. Um, like I said, as you guys heard, that was a little alert going off. One of my stocks are going in the direction I chose it to go in. Not say I chose it, what I wanted to go in, but I'm saying it because I want to be confident that I charted it properly and I made the right decision in taking that trade, which is paying off right now beautifully. On the way to the downside, just a short sell in this particular stock. It had, some bad news this morning a little bit, and investors are punishing that stock right now at the moment in terms of they're selling it off, and short sellers are also selling it to the bulls selling off the stock. So interesting little chart there. So let me see. I can probably share my screen here, and we can kind of see this trade here in real time here. Like I said, just kind of going over some of the stocks a little bit here, midday time frame, whatever the case here. All right, so let's see. Let me go to chat here. I'm gonna clear that out. So you guys can probably see that in a second here. Let me open up here so I can make sure I'm tracking properly. Still getting used to this whole live stream stuff. Your brother's kind of old school with it a little bit. All right, so yeah, so this particular stock here, obviously ACAD Pharmaceuticals again, so Acadia, next day having a bit, a bad day in the market, as you want to call it, and like I say, just kind of going on what we saw yesterday in the market that, this new Fed chair, Jerome Powell, kind of brought a lot of, a little bit more uncertainty back into the market a little bit. It was already skittish as it was, but anytime you have a change of the guard, someone of that importance, there's a lot of people that's watching, the global markets in that moment because they need to kind of, kind of get a chance to fill out this guy or this person, whomever it may be, and see how safe, they may feel about their investments, be it long term or some short term trades or whatever. But again, it's just a good moment to kind of restructure, reassess where you are in terms of your capital. We spoke about that a little bit. Every stock, that's out there's not necessarily, warranted to be traded. As some people say, just buy it and hold it. Just buy it, no matter what it is. Just buy it. That's not a good way to look at the market. We want to be, once again, intelligent investors and traders. So we're parking our money in a place that has some great value or some credibility or some growth value within them, so to speak. So we're not just, once again, just throwing doing the I think it's the Maslow hierarchy chart, whatever it is. I forgot that little test they did. They had the monkeys. I think Dr. Boy spoke about it too. I actually read about it in a couple of books I had, or in a book or two I had, where they had a group of monkeys. They put a group of monkeys up against some very astute scientists and that graduated from MIT or whatever the case was, and the monkeys end up picking a better portfolio than these so-called mathematicians and gurus and wizards. So the monkeys were pretty much just throwing darts at a board and then hitting stocks, and then that's what they bought for a long-term investment. But these were long-term investments, so obviously over time, those particular stocks that the monkeys picked by random value, the random walk value as they call it, the monkeys end up beating out the so-called gurus. Right? Interesting, right? So it goes to show you again, does not matter, if you are so-called super educated in the value of learning, in math and science or whatever, because that stuff matters not. I mean, like I said, that stuff has no bearing on you being able to interpret data and take a position on a particular asset or stock that can benefit you some gains, be it short term or long term, right? It's about, once again, information. You're just here to chase information. You're chasing information, and then you're applying capital to that value of that company for that value of seeing if it can kind of give you a good little return on your investment. And that's what it's all about. You just kind of, hey, I'm gonna loan you a little money. All right, McDonald's, I'm gonna loan you some money. Right, I want you to take this money and go broker a deal with Disney, right, or something like that, which they did yesterday. Right, they brokered a deal with Disney to offer some new Disney toys in their Happy Meals. Right, so once again, these are the things that we're seeing. If you're on the consumer side, right, you go to buy that Happy Meal for your son or your daughter, and you're like, oh, it's Disney toys. Man, when did they partner up with Disney? You may say that in the back of your mind, but it may not really register to you that, obviously they had a little business agreement or merger or something there. They came together on a business move and make that happen, right? So again, you on the consumer side, buying the product when you could just be on the investment side too, to actually, making money off that merger too, by being a so-called partner, a part-time partner. That's how I like to look at it. When you invest in the stocks and assets like this, you actually become a part-time partner in that opportunity, right? And that opportunity for that company to grow, for whatever reason, be it from a quarterly perspective, a biannual perspective, or even an annual perspective, right? So again, you're putting your money to work for you and not necessarily just, working for your money, right? Going, slaving for the money, not letting the money slave for you, right? So that's the best feeling in the world. Again, once again, when you know how to put your money and your capital to work for you and let it go out there and, find other little dollars and cents and Benjamins and you name it. Right. So again, that's why we're excited about our opportunities and you guys learning how to invest in the market. For some of you guys that are new, that haven't touched it, yet, it's going to be a great experience. All I can say is, but we want to be intelligent. We don't want to be people that's just chasing stocks and just all over the place. We want to make informed decisions. So that will benefit us, right? We don't want to waste money, right? Although you can and will lose money, but however, our goal is to retain and build, right? We want to be, in that compounding interest lane of life, dollar cost averaging into our principal value. So that way over time, even with our long-term investment, because we may do both, do 2-3 different ways in trade. There's no set style you can trade. You can do long-term, short-term, midterm, annual, biannual basis, dividend trading only for dividends. You can trade ETFs only, exchange traded funds. You can set up your mutual fund package and just go, into a mutual and kind of work it into a retirement value, right? And just so many different avenues, right? Obviously, there are different ways you can trade, Forex, binary options, right? We know the crypto space, we kind of touched on that a little bit yesterday, which is awesome as well. Once again, just opportunity just through the roof, this option trading, you can just trade the option value in the market through just, Chicago, setting in terms of the futures and the different options that they have available for people to trade, fractional values of these particular stocks and so forth. And just like I say, we're not bubbled or boxed into one scenario over the other. And so, by that value, again, we're just, seeking, a chance once again to build up some good supplemental income along our journey here. Right. So we can better do and make the kind of moves we need, to take care of some family things, to build on some other, endeavors that we got going, like we spoke about yesterday a little bit. whatever the case, go in to put your child through college, whatever. You can pretty much use the market to do that. You can learn how to, get started early, right? Especially for you guys that got kids that's under like, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8 years old, whatever, and younger. I mean, that's the perfect time. You literally start, I mean, it's something as simple as a $5 a day scenario that I keep, preaching a lot too. You just start putting away $5 a day, right? All right. And you do that, 365, right? Time 18 plus years, right? And don't mess around and have that money in the market too, accruing interest on top of it, right? So your child college is paid for, and you did that for by what? Dollar cost averaging, and not necessarily having to come up with it all in one pot, right? When the child gets ready to go, go into so-called higher learning education or whatever they may do in terms of their life, after they kind of, graduate high school or whatnot. So this is how you start planning in advance, and you don't get caught in that, I'll wait to the last minute, or I got time, I can wait, it's not a big deal right now. And, same way like people when they shopping for the holidays, right? Obviously I don't partake in that, but just for those that do, and you find yourself coming down, around mid-October, right? You got all these holidays you got coming up that they got, set up for a reason to kind of, siphon that money out of you. You got Halloween, right after Halloween, right into Thanksgiving. They give you about a good, 20-something days to get ready for Thanksgiving. And that's food and family and everything. And then you go right into Christmas, right? And then for some of you guys, it being Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever. I mean, it's a, a 3-month just gauntlet of just spending money, right? And then, you had a little mid holidays in between that, little small stuff and Labor Days and all these different things where you kind of have days off where, whatever. But, again, as a consumer, they're marketing these holidays for you, right? Because they know you're going to buy into that, if everybody else doing, I should do it, right? So they kind of catch you in that, under that auspice, and they mess you up, right? And now you're just spending money that you didn't necessarily have to spend or that you should not have spent. So again, when we say, well, you have $5 a day to spend on potato chips and cookies and pies and, sugary drinks that's tearing your body up more than anything, then that means you got $5 to put away for a rainy day, right? You can put away $5 a day and put that in a shoebox and put that in somewhere, significant in your home. So every day you see that shoebox, it reminds you of your discipline to be on top of your game, because you want to build generational wealth. You want to get into the compounding interest lane of life, right? You want to be part of the fold where you can look back 10 years later and say, I'm happy I made that decision, right? Because now you got a little nest egg put away, right? Again, and we're translating this money into value, just dollar cost averaging to that $5 a day reality. However, that money also can, right, move into what, right, into an investment, ETF, right, something that can yield you a 2-3% value on your money annually, right, 3, 4, 5%, right, who knows, sometimes 7, 8, 10%, right. So again, if at the end of 1 year and you're doing the $5 a day, and we're talking about 1850, 1875, some number like that, right? And then you put what, 10% value of interest on top of that. So what's 10% of 1875, right? Or 1850, right? That's $187, $185, something like that annually, in terms of what, free money, literally free money. Okay, think about that. Just by you being disciplined and putting away that little $5 a day, you to accrue a little interest to that, and next thing you know, you're on your way. So your collective value begins to grow from that, right? So that's 10%. So now you up from 1875, tack on additional what, $187, whatever the case. Then you do the math on that, right? So again, you go into the following year, well over what, $2,000 some odd dollars, and you build up that same amount, and then you keep add on another what, 1875 on top of 2,000 plus, then turn around, add on another what, additional value of that aggregate compounding interest from what, higher dollar cost average that you buying into it with now, meaning your price point is higher than it was when you first started off at 1875. Now you're up into 2,000 plus, right? And you tacking on the 10%, 9%, whatever interest to that. So you're growing now. You're growing it, once again, aggregating your money. Your money is going to work for you. You got to look at them like little toy soldiers, right? For some of you guys, like the little dollar single bills, you might have been to the strip club or whatnot. You got all these little toy soldiers, right? And they're doing one or two things, right? They're waiting to go to battle, or they finna get slaughtered or get stale, or just get dive old age, and because they not been put to work or put to use, right? So again, if you're not putting that money to work for you, this is going to be something that's very vital when you look back, 5, 6 years and say, you know what, I blew a lot of money doing a lot of kind of, wild and frivolous things, and I really got nothing to show for it like I should right now. You may be okay, but there's a lot that you threw away just by not, once again, being a bit more, understanding how to manage your money. All right, if that makes sense to some of you guys. So, again, these are kind of conversations I just want to have here and there. Obviously I want to make this, kind of say I'm gonna do this every single day, but when there's moments where I can do it, I want to get on and share that little value with you guys and learn from you guys too. Once again, this is an open forum. This is not me just kind of being, the dictator of information, because I'm still learning this thing too, right? In a lot of ways, right? Obviously, I've been able to kind of be, on top of my game a little bit thus far in my little level of career in trading and investing to a certain degree in terms of my level of success. Obviously, I do it from the level of how I feel about it. I don't do it for the value of, for kudos and recognition of it, because I got a family to feed, right? I got things, bills I got to, I want to take care of, and goals and dreams I want to accomplish one day. So for me, I'm doing this strictly under that auspice and that auspice only, right? Hear people say, you have that brother, that sister, that cousin, somebody going to the, to the next level in terms of their professional, sport endeavor, and they make it to the league, and the first thing they get on the camera say, my mom and dad were there for me. Now I can't, I'm going to take care of them. Now I'm going to buy them a house and all that stuff. Well, you know what? That's one of my endeavors as a trader. I'm going to buy my mom a house through investing. How about that? Now you're talking, right? For people that go to school and do it from the education perspective, you could turn around and do it from the investing side of the house. Just imagine that, right? And then again, you're doing it under your own, auspice, in the sense you don't have nobody standing over you. It's all about you and what you bring to the table and how you, access and use this market to be able to handle your bills and things for you. All right, so that's awesome, but I'm just putting it out there because these things are very realistic, right? From the perspective that, we are in a small percentage of people that actually do invest or trade. Look at the numbers. The data don't lie. So I ask that question consistently over and over and over to you guys. How many of your immediate friends that are around you, literally, we're talking about your people that you really respect, as you call it, that you call your friend. How many of them are trading the market along with you, or getting ready to trade the market along with you? For some of you guys that hadn't started trading yet, right? So show of hands. How many friends you got out of your 4 or 5 closest friends, right? That is a lot of you guys would be like crickets, So again, in that moment, it's just a good opportunity to realize that you are in a position here to to be the trendsetter. In and around your gang, in a sense, your hood or your homies, or y'all know what I'm saying. Not necessarily you live in the hood, but around your people that you consider to be your close buddies and so forth on, right? So your circles, in a sense, right? So you can change that dynamic, right? Right? It's 100% right, Family Fisher, right? See, none of your friends, right? And you got to ask yourself, that's a problem with that, right? There's something wrong with that if you're the only one and no one else is. And no matter how much you kind of go to them and say, you know what, hey, here's the opportunity, right? You always plan, you may not have a little bit here and there, you trying to make your ends meet. What are you doing with your miscellaneous money, right? Are you blowing it more? Or are you blowing it on things you don't need, just to find yourself in a situation asking, like, where my money at? I don't have enough to do this and that. Or are you actually putting your money to work for you? Are you becoming, mature enough to realize that, there's opportunities out there that doesn't require you having to go and work 2 or 3 different jobs and, do all these extra things you do, need to, or think that you need to do to kind of procure you some income. Again, so they've been selling you the dream all along. Go to school, get a good education, so you can get a good job, right? Just over broke, just over barely, right? Y'all know how I look at that. And then, you spend your entire life trying to fulfill that dream or that destiny just to be kind of recognized by, I guess, your peers or your family, right? The plantation mentality, being stuck in that kind of box where, you only can be looked at successfully if you get a job or go work for somebody else, right? Y'all know I like to use that analogy. I've used it several times, but I will keep using it because I know there's a lot of relevance to it with a lot of our people. It's hard for them to get it through their brain. You go to school, right? Or not necessarily go to school, but you look at it this way, right? They'll tell you that, or that whole scenario where, hey man, I've been looking for work, I've been struggling, and I got my bills are piling up, man. I'm going through a lot, man. Thank you for being there for me. But as soon as they get the job, they go post it all over Facebook or Twitter. I got the job. You're excited for them, obviously, because they can use that revenue, right? So they get hundreds of likes, and all people come in. Oh, that's awesome, man. Way to go, man. You got the job. Yeah, I knew you was going to get it, man. Good job, sister. Way to go, sister. and then someone like myself or you guys come along, right? Because you entrepreneur minded, right? You on the business side of the life, right? You're a distributor, producer, seller. You come along and say, hey, I started my own business, right? I got an LLC for investing, right? I'm a part of my own little business endeavor where I got t-shirts, all these things going. Now I'm doing it under my own auspice, right? And then you post that on Facebook, Twitter. What do you get? Maybe 1 or 2 likes, maybe no comments, right? And everybody bypassing that post all day long, right? And they'll skip over that post, right? And that may be, right, the top post, right? And then the post underneath that will be about something, crazy. I went drag racing last night, and smoked this guy, in my Chevrolet or whatever, right? All kind of likes on that one, or something ratchet about, some craziness going on, or something about the Black Panther. You got all kind of hundreds of likes and on those, but they bypass you saying, "Hey, I'm going to, try my luck and bet on me for a change in life." Entrepreneur mindset, from here on out, right? So again, this is the mentality. This is the grooming. This is a process of, of brainwashing in a sense. Getting people to fall into the fold, right, to be able to support a system that necessarily doesn't have the best interests of its people in mind from a very, moral perspective in a sense, right? Because we know that there's enough money, there's enough opportunities around afforded to the people. You really want your economy to be flourishing. You can educate a lot of your society in areas that they need to be so they can compete on a global level, right? But we know that ain't the case in America. We ain't got to sit here and sugarcoat that truth. We know what it is when it comes to this. Right, we know what it is, 100,000%. Ain't no use to even trying to placate people in here like, well, it ain't that. No, it is what it is. You live in that kind of world where obviously we know hunger can be pretty much taken care of overnight. We know literally the amount of food we throw away just from these restaurants alone can feed pretty much all the homeless people here in America at twice, 2 or 3 times over, and that's just in one day of people throwing away old food out these restaurants at the end of the night, right? But obviously we know that's the issue because you'll get fined and put in jail if you feed the homeless with that food. This is the mentality. So I'm just saying this is a mentality. So not to kind of get on the soapbox and go through all that, but I'm just setting the premise that, if there's all this excess going around, right, that we have to throw away, right, that we're consuming at high levels, right, and not necessarily getting a return on that investment. You get your little meal for that moment, fill your little belly up, right, but you just pay, a lot higher for the value for it than it's really worth for whatever reason, right? Or you buying a product that's been highly marked up, whatever, they put a higher margin on it, they buying it for $3 and they upcharge it to like 17, 18 for you, right? Whatever the case, you buying it way up there at the top, right? And it depreciates soon when you hit that cash register button. It's already depreciating, $7, $8, $10, $12. That's that fast. So again, so if you're not making those conscious decisions, I know you don't have to do it every time. We get that. There's some things you're just gonna have to buy because you just on the fly, but ultimately, my point is that you need to be able to make intelligent decisions about where you park your money at. And in essence, in the moment or in the heat of a impulse buy or impulsing marketing moment where they, impulsing you to spend your money, you got to stop and be able to kind of be very disciplined. Say, do I want to spend money on this, or do I want to hold these little $20 here so I can put that money in the market per se and let it grow out, go and grow, other little, dollars and stuff like that, right? So you become very, very, strict on yourself in a lot of ways when you become, you get into the game of investing where you really take it serious because you want to have money to trade with, right? It becomes a hobby or passion, whatever your case. But again, show me another hobby or passion where you can make money doing it if you and doing it properly to the point where it could be a hobby or passion. But we're talking about 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures in some cases, right? And you're doing it once again from the comfort of your own home. Train on the plane, in your back porch, sitting in your favorite chair, right? Wherever, having the opportunity is basically my point in all this, conversation that we're speaking about in terms of investing, right? Or getting you guys excited about wanting to invest in nothing else because again, we've already done the test, we've already done the, the compare and contrast, right? There's not many of your friends or your peers, you probably even know about the stock market, let alone will be trading it. Right. And if they do got a 401k, they don't really understand it to the degree where if they really knew how to maximize even that, right, then how they could really be successful at learning how to manage some of their own money, right? Why trust somebody with all your money? That makes no sense to me, right? I was there at one point. I'm like, no, why would I want to, give these people all the power over my financial, hard work. I didn't put it in to build these little dollars up. And, now I could be able to do this on my own. I could, you should be able to take at least a third of your hard capital and invest it under your own mentality. Basically, if you like $100,000 in your 401k, right, in your TSP, whatever the case, thrift saving plan, whatever the case, you need to be able to take at least 30,000 of that, at least minimum of 20, right, and invest it yourself. Why wouldn't you? Right? They're giving you an annual return about 6-7%. Right? For some of you guys, maybe a little more, depends on whatever, right? Because all still depends upon the market, right? We just know last year the market was super bullish, it was on a tear. Right? A lot of 401ks and TSP got a big boost last year. And guess what? As soon as January hit, the market had a big 1,000-point correction. So it gave back literally dang near 7-8% of all that gain that you built over that entire past year. And literally 2 or 3, actually wasn't that long. It was maybe about a week, and I give about a entire week and 2 or 3 days. It pretty much wiped out all those gains in that little bit of time. Imagine that. Right? Because the market has a way of doing what it wants to do too. It's a living, breathing entity of its own. So again, if you was managing some of those funds yourself, then you'll be able to catch those signs or be able to monitor those moments when they pop up like that and adjust your portfolio accordingly. Right? Because you can't necessarily go to your company like, hey, what stocks y'all invested in my 401k? They just know it's a collection of stocks, right? And you either buy in more, add more to it, or so they can match you, or you just whatever. You're not necessarily knowing the intricate value. Some of you guys may know, but some of you guys may not. But ultimately, what I'm saying is, why not be in control of some of that stuff yourself? Right? So that 20,000 or that 20,000 or 20 grand that you took out of that, right? Or you did, find a way to kind of put that money to work under your own reality, right? And you took that through an annual, scenario. You didn't grew that 20 grand respectfully, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be in the stock market. You could put it in the crypto market, right? We all know the whole rally with Bitcoin. I was, going head over heels over Bitcoin during the summer, right? Hey, this stuff is solid. I'm seeing, from looking back at this previous value, it's solid. So I started my crusade during the summertime. Right? We saw Bitcoin around 2,000, right? We saw Litecoins around 40-something bucks. And then again, it really caught fire in my mindset when it got like $60, like Litecoin like 63. And I started buying more into it at that $63, $66 level, right? And then we already saw it. We saw what it did after that when Bitcoin made that epic run up there, up there 20,000, right? From 2,000 all the way up to 20,000. We did that all in the middle of about 3 or 4 months to let that marinate. So you did that literally in a quarterly value from a fiscal perspective. You did that literally in a quarter value where you took your money from 2,000 and grew it to pretty much to 20,000, which gave you an $18,000 profit value per coin. Per coin. You spent 6,000, right? You spent $6,000 in Bitcoin when it was trading at $2,000 back in mid-July, right? You bought $6,000 worth. Gave you 3 coins. You saw it go all the way up to like 19,000 and 20,000, right? During that time when it hit that peak, end of November, December area, you decided to take some profit off the table. You decided to sell 2 of your coins and keep the other one still in there. So that means you cashed out with $37,000 in less than 4 months off a $6,000 investment. Who winning, who losing? That means, look at that from perspective if you were just on the job, right? Some of you guys, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $90,000, whatever year, you had an additional $37,000 added of additional income tacked onto your bottom line. And just because the value of the crypto market is not regulated properly yet in terms of IRS and SEC, you was obligated at that point, or you wasn't necessarily regulated by law to even report that stuff to the IRS. Obviously, you could, but they can't come after you if you didn't, basically what I'm saying. Anytime you buy, as the last regulation was put out there, that if you buy any kind of coin under 10,000 and it goes over, you necessarily don't have to report that, right? Because they're still in the business of trying to get the tax stuff together with that. But ultimately, what I'm saying is you just pocketed $37,000 off a $6,000 investment. So, I asked, again, find me another scenario out there where we were put in a scenario where we can garner that kind of income. Literally that fast. Not saying that, every opportunity will come along like that. We know Bitcoin is a unicorn in a certain way, but, but it still shows you that these things are prevalent. We saw that with the boom, right? When that happened, when the whole internet rally kicked off. We saw that with the real estate market when they kicked out in the 90s, right? It turned around and crashed in a lot of ways. And I mean, this is how the market moved, right? We constantly own one thing to the next. So if I was to ask you guys a little bit right here in the back chat that's paying attention here, just from your natural knowledge of knowing what's going on around you from a technological perspective, right? Our so-called next level of emerging markets that, that may bring a lot of good excitement, right? Let's start this dump a little bit here. Sorry, I had to look up seeing that there. That was a big little dump there. Somebody sold a lot of shares there. So that stock, once again, that trade is going very well. I don't even know where I'm at in profit right now. Let me see where I'm at. Let me put this down where I'm at. Okay, well, I'm at on ACAD. Oh, yeah, that's looking good. Yeah, I'm $3,000 on the day. All right, so far, $3,000. All right, so AKRX, that trade is doing well. Still sitting in Riot. Add more to my shares in Riot. I've been waiting to drag Riot all the way down. I'm gonna drag that to the ashes. So my average in that one now is like I think like 10.55, 10.57, somewhere around there. All right, and I got like a lot of shares short in Riot. I think I got like near 2,500 shares short in Riot. Right, so that's gonna be I've eaten up that stock so much it's just ridiculous. Whatever. But that, I'm short Frontier, also Frontier Communication. Some of you guys may know about Frontier Communication, right? Phone company, whatever the case they are. They had bad earnings or something like that. So I shorted that stock this morning too from $7.15. Covered some of it down at the low and left some of the shares in that. So I'm still shorting that stock. Like I said, ACAD, y'all saw me, showing that on the screen. Definitely holding that share. That stock short. So right now my position is going well for me thus far today. But again, like I said, we just kind of building on, just to midday value, understanding, our level of why we want to invest and, why we should be investing, and why we should take this opportunity to the next level in a lot of ways. Once again, you don't have to make this a full-time scenario. That it's not for everybody, right? It comes with a lot of mental strengthening conditioning. That's what you guys been hearing me say that's going through the workshop right now, my introduction to investing workshop, where, it comes with a lot of psychology, right? That's my biggest thing. I'm gonna always stress to you guys. You got to have a strong mind, right, to be able to deal with investing. Right, because it could be kind of nerve-wracking sometimes, right? It's a new, lane that you've probably never been in before. You don't understand the different swings, up, down, all this stuff. You're just trying to make sense of it, right, and get your share of the pie, right? So it comes with some natural progressions and homework values that you need to do to be able to protect yourself in those moments. Like we just spoke about, last year when the market was on a tear to the upside, it was very bullish, right? And the Dow gained all these points from it went from it was like 17 to 16,000, somewhere around there, and then it went all the way up to 27,000, literally, right? That's a lot of money that was made under that last year, right? And again, your 401k is probably looking very pregnant, right? Probably due any day, right? As soon as you get ready to probably think about taking a little bit off the table, you had an ugly little market correction, like I said last month, like man, so a little premature birth. But regardless. We're just once again seeking, opportunity. We're seeking for a scenario where, again, we can use these opportunities to be able to put some extra money in our pockets to take care of the family, kids, have scenario, field trips, whatnot, clothing, whatever the case. Pay the mortgage off, right? You can literally go to pay your mortgage bill every month just by using the stock market. You know how to do it properly, right? So if your market, let's say your mortgage is like $1,500, right? You got a mortgage of $1,500. Right? And let's just say we just saving money from the $5 a day scenario, right? $5 a day, right? That's just a start. There's just many other ways, but that's $35 at the end of the week, 140 from the monthly perspective, right? And you just doing that on the strength, showing that you could be disciplined and putting away $140 a month, right? So you find the capital to be able to trade. So you can't say you can't find money to trade if you can put away $5 a day, right? And total that equal that into $140 a month. All right, but again, let's just say you want to be able to pay your mortgage off just through the stock investments from a monthly perspective. So that pretty much eliminates the entire bill, monthly. That translates to an annual deficit where you don't have to worry about that bill being plaguing you in that scenario. Right? And I'm pretty sure if you got for some of you guys that are homeowners, I'm pretty sure you may have an escrow account already set up anyway, so that takes care of your property tax. But again, let's break that down. So if you divide that into 4 weeks, 1,500. Right. Well, what's your number there? It's roughly around 300, 50 some odd dollars, somewhere around 325, some number like that, 333, some number like that. Right. So that basically means that you need to make at least $350 a week in the market. Right. From week to week. right? So you could be able to what? Handle that bill, that bill come, the end of the month to pay your mortgage off. So now to make $350 a week in the market, right? Just making some smart trades. If you break that down from a weekly perspective, I mean, you really can make what? Say 5 divided into 350, right? 35. So that's what? How much is that? $70, something like that. $70 a day scenario. So $70 a day in the market. How hard would it be to make $70 a day if you once again using the market at your benefit and using it properly? Now again, you don't have to make that every single day in that parameter. It could be $100 in one day. The next day you may make 20. Right? The following day you may make $300 in one trade. But y'all see that happens a lot. Sometimes I was doing some of the trades I take and whatnot, and some of the trades you guys probably taking yourself. Right? But you learn how to be disciplined, learn how to retain capital as opposed to giving it back, because now you become more stingy about how you trade the market the following day once you already hit your goal, and now you're just retaining your capital, locking it in. You don't even have to trade anymore once again, even after you hit your goal. So we just use my 3% rule, as y'all always hear me preach about, right? $1,000 a day going to the market just to get me to 3% of the market every day. This me to 3%, right? So the first day you hit your 3%, and guess what? Anytime you hit that 3%, anything over that is extra. So we just do the bottom line, 3%. So that's $30 you done made in the market that day. That's pretty much near half of what your goal is from a daily perspective. You go into the market the next day with 1,030, right? And you look for 3%. Y'all do the math on that, right? That number starts to incline a little bit, right? So, and that's just once again the bare minimum of 3%. So you hit that 3%, anything over is extra. You put your trailing stop at the 3% level, anything else is just gravy. By making smart decisions, by understanding what you're doing, being around intelligent people that's also, trading the market like you are, having that kind of, network around you to help you hit your goals. And once again, you're doing this just by pushing buttons. Buy, sell, reading over some charts, find out what's going on in the news, right? Stand on top of your current events in a lot of ways. And you doing this while you got other stuff going on around your home, or got other stuff you got going on while you even on the job, right? You on the job for Mr. Charlie, you still trading underneath the desk with your little cell phone, laptop, getting it in. Right? He paying you $300 in a day, right? You'd have made $300-400 in one trade in about 20-30 minutes. Sometimes less than that, depends how leverage you are. And you look around like, man, they ain't got too much longer. They're on the clock, right? Before I fire them, I'm gonna fire my boss before it's over with, right? That's the mentality. I'm gonna fire these people before it's over with. They don't even know it. I'm just buying time, right? So, these are the kind of conversations we're gonna keep continually having, because I know, like I said, when it really sets in, right? Because the same way it did for me, you're gonna find yourself like, man, and I'm speaking strictly for those who doing it properly and do it right. We're not just gonna go out there and make no bad decisions and chase stuff and run all over the place and all this kind of stuff like that. No, we're gonna make some good decisions, right? Because it's gonna matter, right? And once you start to once again realize that, then you'll say, well, you know what? See, I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this opportunity. Right? I got my mind right. I'm mentally strong. I got my health together. I'm working on getting my health together so I can be, have mental clarity. I'm not rolling out of bed drinking a beer, and doing all this stuff, then going and try to trade the market, right? I'm not going to lunch and drinking, 2 or 3 shots of liquor, then trying to go trade the market in the afternoon session when you messed up and the knee braid and all that kind of stuff. No, you got to look at this as like what? Same way you was on a job. You don't show up at your job drunk. You don't show up at your job, buzzed all up, whatever the case, right? Or show up to your job with lack of sleep. Some of you guys probably got newborns and babies. That just, you can't nothing to do with that. But I mean, you have nothing to do with it. But you just got to do what you got to do. But y'all get my point. You want to make sure you're making, putting everything in perspective in your life where you're balanced, pretty much. That's my whole thing with this. You want to be balanced, right? You want to be well rested. You want to be sharp and intuitive, right? Full of wit and being able to kind of once again read information on the fly, interpret that data, spit it back out, computate it, make your move, right? That's the mind of an entrepreneur anyway, right? Our mind is constantly evolving, constantly moving, constantly looking for the next opportunity, the next idea, right? How to leverage our time, our skills, our talents, right? So this is where we want to be going forward. So when y'all guys look back again, like 5 years from now, And you be like, man, I'm happy. I put myself in this scenario. I took it serious to the point where it became a passion, right? Or at least a great way to build wealth. You don't have to be a passion. It can be just, hey, I got an opportunity where I can use this to my advantage. Had I not known this, I still would have been on the rat race, on the hamster wheel, going nowhere fast, going in circles, right? As my uncle would say, you got two left shoes on, right? You're going in a circle, you're going nowhere, right? We barely getting by, right? A job, just over broke, just over barely, right? We're not going to think in that term, right? We're going to be, once again, people that's going to be, concerned with learning how to build wealth. And keep in mind, your level of success is only dependent upon how you value you, right? How you value success. It's not about what somebody else says or how they set the pinnacle for you. Like, no, get out my face. You don't determine my success. I determine my success. Some of you guys' success may be just learning how to get $20,000 extra supplemental income at the end of the year. That's power. That means that's 20,000 more than you had before you what? The following year. And you did that from a place of just learning how to what? Invest in the global markets. Find another scenario that can garner you that kind of income just by pushing a few buttons. It's a little bit more to that, but y'all get my point. This stuff ain't really hard once you break it down and really realize what's going on here. The values of how the market move up and down. We just talked about that from a midday market cap. We saw it yesterday that the new Fed chair came in. Jerome Powell spoke a little bit to the Congress and the Capitol Hill, whatnot. They grilled him pretty good, respectfully so, to kind of get his mind right in terms of how they want to, go forward with agendas, that people that have different agendas. So he's controlling the bag, the big bag in terms of the economy bag, and they want to make sure he's doing right by it. But as retail investors like me and you, well, we see, there's some opportunity to be made in any aspect of the market. Unfortunately, we don't want the market to just take big hits, and that kind of hurts our retirement values and stuff like that. Our 401ks and TSPs and mutual funds like that. However, but if we're leveraging the market and know how to correct that ourselves, because we can go in the market and get those gains back from trading the market, depends on which angle is trading at, then we good to go anyway. Right? So, that's what it's all. You're learning how to hedge your life, in a sense, if that makes sense, you guys. Right? That's a t-shirt, hedge your life. Let me write that down. Right? Y'all know I love my little t-shirt slogan. Right? I got some t-shirts in the works. Hedge your life. Meaning you need to be balanced, right? You need to be balanced, basically. Right? Not too, much to the upside, not too much to the downside. You right in the middle. In some cases, when you in that middle, you just keep applying to your principal amount at that middle area there, that mean area there, that medium area there. And now you building compounded interest through that level, because you're not having to take no kind of wild flash losses to the upside. To the downside, right? Especially if you're bullish about your your investments. So any little tack down value to that, 3%, 4%, whatever the case, 5% is like money, literally money. Right? So, 20,000 that you invested that previous year, you invested another 20,000 the following year, and then you tack on interest to that. Again, 4-5%. Right? You do the math on that, right? 4-5% interest on that, and you just keep doing that year after year after year after year. You find yourself in 5-10 years down the road, and you look back, right? Let's say 10 years out from $20,000, being able to put away $20,000 in something income every year, right? 10 years, you time that time 10 years, right? That's $200,000. That's $250,000 almost, right? And that's before you hit it with the interest. Like some of you guys man, those some big numbers. Ain't nothing that you can't do if you learn how to do it properly. Don't let money scare you. Don't let the opportunity of being able to touch big money be a part of a scenario where you say, man, I gotta do. No, you can do it. If everybody else done it, why can't you do it? What's holding you back? What makes you feel inferior to the idea that you can't, be a handler of those kind of funds and that kind of income? It basically your mentality. If your mentality is defeated, then of course it's not going to happen. Right? So, if you look at what we have in terms of this craft and this level of trade that we've taken on as investors and traders, and we've seen the numbers that we see on a daily when people are trading the market, be it yourself or others, you're like, man, these people making all this money. And some of them, once again, are doing it, sitting there on the job, doing it, making all this extra money, making way more than their company even paying them. You know, and it's like, this is why these people are having these different little, you know, these come ups, right? And you and your coworker have the same position, literally make about the same salary, right? Your coworker, right? House is an extra $30,000-$40,000 more than yours. They cars an extra, you know, $10,000-$17,000 more than yours, or $20,000 more than yours. You're like, how is that possible? Their spouse will make no more, that much more than mine, right? They definitely don't make no more money than me. We got the same pay scale. How they got this extra? How did they have all this extra, this surplus and the extra? Because they're doing something that you're not. They're invested in the market. They're invested. So they got a lot of supplemental income coming in, right? And you just dependent upon what? One source of income, your job. You're just over broke. You're just over barely, right? So, you know, we hammer that for a reason. We speak on that for a reason. So again, you know, when we go to, you know, dumb this stuff down or make it make sense to us to why we want to do it, you know, why we should at least consider doing it, right? Then, you know, to me, it's like a no-brainer. But that's just me, right? That's just the way I think about it, right? So again, we're here for opportunity, and nothing more, nothing less. You know, so again, I just want to kind of touch on this and kind of keep pushing that out there, because sometimes we need that mental strengthening, right? We need that little extra push. We need that little, you know, extra pick me up and say, hey, you know, and for some of you guys that's been trading a little bit, you might have been taking a few losses here and there because you're still trying to figure out this thing and tweak it to the point where you can make it make sense, literally dollars and cents. You know, this is a part of the journey, right? It's going to come with a, you know, incredible lot of discipline. Well, not that you can't do it, it just comes with that level of discipline. You got to be on top of your stuff, not to the point where it requires so much from you. You know, it's really not. You're just reading over some data. You're reading over some charts, previous chart history. You understand a little lingo. You don't have to know, you don't even have to know all the back end stuff that most people are crazy about in terms of fundamental analysis. You do not. Trust me when I tell you that. Don't be fooled by that. Oh man, I gotta know about, you know, all the different stuff and cash flow and multiples and the PE ratios and the EBITDA and EBITDA. I need to know about all this cash, you know, this let's just say the short sale entries and well that's technical more than, but you want to learn about all this different stuff that has to do with the net loss and profit values and stuff like that, the different acquisitions that they may have going on, right? The things that they're doing to grow the company, right? You don't necessarily have to be on point with every aspect of that reality, because a lot of that stuff is just, you know, tailored to kind of give you an understanding, you know, in a you know, ideal scenario, these things would be ideal for the particular trade, right? Be it to the upside or down, right? So if a company comes out and say, you know, we're going to do a public offering, meaning they're going to offer up a lot of their shares to more people. I'm sorry, guys, that's my alerts going on. That means I'm making money. My stock finally is breaking down. My short sale is on its way. Matter of fact, let me set my next level, because it already broke that baseline support almost. The bottom one would be here around 25.72. Right, as we see here, this candle right here. All right, this is an intraday move here, where it came down and hit that as the, you know, the daily low. Right, that's the daily low of the day in terms of the lowest price it hit. Right, so as you see here now, the stock is breaking down. Right now it's at 25.78. So we got literally about 78 cents before it hit that daily low. Right, if I scroll over, actually it's lower than that. That's just where it was in that terms of that base candle there. So beyond that, the next support level, as you see here on this candle, we learned about support resistance here, would be around 25.60 somewhere around there. So let's set me another alert right there. So in the event that we can, you know, we get down that low with the way that the market is trending here, because we know that the market is still downward trending a little bit from yesterday, from after that that news that the Fed chair, you know, kind of, you know, gave to the Congress yesterday, kind of spooked investors a little bit, which is natural. And because of that, we're getting some pullback, right? So again, today is a good day to kind of, you know, whatever loan position you got, be very careful. All right, I played one stock long today, which was Lowe's. I actually shorted it first, right? Took it down a little bit, and then I turned around and turned bullish on that stock and rolled it up, right? I rolled it up from like 88.70-ish, somewhere around there, to like 90.30 or 90.40. So I make money going down, make money going up, and then you can turn around and short it back down again, right? Because it started fading again when it couldn't breach that, I think like 98 area, 90.80 something area resistance. It couldn't breach that, and it came right back down. So again, show me where else you can make this kind of money doing this kind of stuff, being in the right place at the right time, knowing what you're doing, and you just pushing buttons and clicking buttons like I'm doing here. I'm doing it, just clicking buttons. You know, it says, you know, and understanding, you know, what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, basically. So, we are in unique reality in terms of being able to do this. So, this to me, this is like, it's a no-brainer, right? It's just a no-brainer. But that's just me. And so I'm excited about it, because I know when I look back 5-10 years now, and man, that count looking swollen, right? Hey, and all of us hanging out together somewhere, that start breaking down, guys. Listen, that it's breaking down, guys. Listen to it. It just where am I at in my daily profit? So somebody reversed them a little bit, and that's fine, because like I said, I got this stuff hedged out. Oh, so it was FTR. So your Frontier and Riot pull back up a little bit, but the ACAD stock is doing wonderful. It's beautiful. It's once again, it's on that downtrend, as you guys can see there. It's on its way down. No worries in that trade. In terms of what it's going to do. Frontier, I'm pretty solid in this one. My average is still 715. I already took some profit, a partial down here on the low, around about $7. Excuse me, like $6 and like 70-something cents. And I have a few shares left in that now, so it's still trying to turn. So I see that the market turned a little bit. All right, so before it was kind of going very, bearish. We was down in the red level. The Qs were kind of turning bearish. All right, which is the financial market side of the house, dealing with the finance side and the banks and different lenders and stuff like that. There's many others too. I was just within that collection, but typically when those stocks are kind of or that sector is doing bad, then a lot of the market kind of implodes with that, with those particular those big time name stocks that kind of handle a lot of that finance value of the market, right? So that's another way you can gauge the market, by understanding the different indices and sectors that carry a lot of weight in terms of how the market is moving up or down. The Dow Jones Industrial Index is obviously one of them, right? It's a collection of the 30 of some of the biggest stocks that are traded in a New York Stock Exchange, or just the global market as a whole, like Home Depot, I think 3M, and a few others. So if you want to know about those stocks that are traded under the Dow Jones Industrial Index, that kind of gives you an indication how the market is going, you can go look that up. We spoke about that in one of our investment sessions. We're trying to break down the different exchanges and different sectors and indices and things of that nature, right? So the Qs were down in the red, and the SPY was down in the red, and now they kind of turned a little bit. But ultimately, again, if you look at that from where it's at now, from where it opened up around, I think it was opened up around, well, it was like about a 0.5, 1.5, somewhere around there. It's definitely downtrending still, right? Still in a bearish downtrend in a sense, and it's just barely hovering. It's barely hanging on, so to speak, right? So by that token, I'm still comfortable in the position I have, especially my short positions, that they're gonna roll at some point. For the value, however I already charted them. Riot, we know Riot just a crazy stepchild. That's that stock that has, y'all heard me speak about Riot before. It's already a fraudulent company. It's been exposed by CNBC. A lot of other companies and put hit piece out on it, like Seeking Alpha and many others. They know that the CEO is a dirtbag. He's lying to investors, so they got a lot of lawsuits going on for Riot. So eventually it's gonna roll over, right? Today you had some some shorts that covered a lot of earlier today that had been in it for a long time, and that's what caused that squeeze to come, for it to squeeze back up a little bit. Then it went up there and tested that high of $10.60 before obviously it rolled back over something, right? And it's right now it has came gotten itself back above the VWAP line here. If you look at this VWAP line here, which is what they call the volume weighted average price. For some of you guys that know about the VWAP, we're gonna learn this stuff too. For some of you guys to still learn this stuff, but the VWAP line is pretty much like the litmus test, right, of most of these stocks, how they're trading, right? If they can hover that VWAP, be above it, right, then that shows that they still in a bullish state, that they have a lot of aggressive value that in that particular stock, that we may get some more upside, right, because it's above a so-called consensus line or medium line that shows that investors are excited about this particular stock at that moment. It's holding what they call the gun line. They just say, tell them about the gun line, boss, right? So the VWAP is like the gun line, and especially for short sellers and also bullish sellers too. I use the VWAP like butter, right? So when I'm taking a short position, especially on the stock that has bad news and is downtrend and whatnot, and it's kind of showing that weakness, I use the VWAP as a litmus test. So when I took my short in ACAD this morning, right, I did like it always do. I waited, right? I wait. Y'all know my strategy. Wait for the 9:50 to 10 a.m. pullback. Let me see how the market's gonna respond before I jump in, right? So I saw how the market responds. So literally around about 9:50, we had the pullback, right? So right here, you saw right at the top here, it went up. It hit like $26.49, right? Right after that, into 9:50, it pulled back, and hit like 25.88, right? So dang near close to a full point in some cases there, right? Then it went and marched back up, right? Into around about 26.38, right? So almost like a double top. I said, even though it didn't complete the entire double top there, it got to that level of resistance and pulled back again. So that means there was still a lot of ambiguity, in that particular asset, right? The buyers and the sellers were just kind of confused. They didn't know exactly, how the stock was going to respond. So because of that, the stock just was kind of just, whatever, trending in the level of ambiguity before it bounced out, because a lot of volume was coming in and out of that stock at that moment before it had a chance to neutralize itself, figure out exactly what it's going to do going forward, in terms of, if it's going to go up or go down, and then from there set its course. So literally around about 956, 957, 958, a lot of buyers came in, all right? The stock turned bullish. So instantly what happened, right? You had literally about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7, 8, 9 green candles back to back, which is kind of what they call an abnormality in terms of when you're looking at charting, right? Anytime you have like 7, 8 candles that are green and bullish straight to the upside, eventually at some point you're gonna get a red one in there at some point too, right? It's the RSI probably bleeding at that point. It's very high on the relative sliding index, meaning that's really overbought. A lot of people, just too many people buying it, run it pretty much like if you retail shopping, too many people buying all the product off the shelf, they can't stock it fast enough. So in that moment, you're gonna have to have a pause, right? And buying that product, because now they have to stop and restock the shelves in a sense. So in that moment, stock pulls back. You have that waiting period, right? As soon as they restock the shelves, if the people are still excited about this product, right? I'm just using the analogy to break it down for you guys that are new to this. If people are still excited about that product in that moment, what's gonna happen? As soon as they restock them shelves, they're gonna turn around and start buying some more. That's exactly what happened, right? So it pulled back some, and then the buyers came back in, right? We still talking about the most aggressive time of the day in terms of investing is between 9:30 and 10:30, right? That's when most retail investors are going baloney, right? It's like Black Friday all over again from day to day with us in terms of investing. So they start buying it up again. So literally about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different green candles again to the upside, push it all the way up to like 27.09. Keep in mind, it already had gap down from this morning from bad news, right? It was way up there around there, $30-something, right? Gap down, right? Because the news and open up, literally around about $27.70 some cents, whatever. And then ever since then, it's been trying to recover to get back, some of them those gains that it lost. But all we see at this point is downtrending. The market's already in a bearish trend, so to speak, right? It's barely hanging on. The market's going sideways a little bit. There's not enough investor sentiment to save this stock at this point, right? So because of that, is downtrending in a sense, if that makes sense to you guys. So again, if I look right here, for some of you guys that are a little bit more advanced than the others that are learning this, we have a pattern here that we were able to recognize from a short seller perspective, right? So right here, this pattern here, for some of you guys that's watching in the back chat, that's a little bit more seasoned in investing and trading, what pattern do you see right here, right? Those two big peaks there. You see a peak right here when it went up there and hit a level of resistance and couldn't break through, right, which is $27 mark. And then you had another time it went up there and tried to hit it again, right? And then could necessarily breach it and go through it convincingly. So what pattern is that, guys? For some of you guys, it's a little bit more astute to learn how to invest. What do you see right there in that pattern right here, guys? Tell me what you see right there. Right? That would be considered what kind of pattern? Let me see some of you guys that may have been trading a little bit. What pattern do you see in those two big mountain peaks right there, where the stock went up there to try to push through that level of resistance, right? That wall of sellers up there, right? That's a double top. For some of you guys may know, that's what they call a double top pattern. Some of you guys got this information in your email that I sent you in terms of different stuff you're gonna go over in terms of patterns and charts. That's a double top. And anytime you see like a double top in a particular trade, meaning it had a level of resistance where the stock went up and tried to push through that level, once, and then tried it again on twice and it couldn't, get through, chances are the stock gonna do what? It's gonna come down, right? That means there's not enough power and investors to kind of push through that level of resistance. So that caused stock to fade off. So if you was a short seller, at that moment, you say, well, okay, it shows that it couldn't break through. The market's kind of still, showing that it's some signs of weakness in it, right? That's why I premise this bill, the market's still showing signs of weakness, which it is, right? And I'm benefiting to capitalizing off of it. That's a sign that I could take my short position here, right? So if I take my short position right at that level of that double top pattern there, right? Let's say 2688, 2690, somewhere around there, right? And now I'm just want to push it down, right? I'm looking to push it down because it's showing that level of weakness is there. As soon as they hit the VWAP line, that's when most short sellers start to really come in, right? Because most short sellers show at the $half mark, whole dollar mark, and also at the VWAP line. That's that litmus test line that I was telling you guys about, the gun line. Tell them about the gun line, boss, right? The movie Life. So that gun line is a testament. If you can't hold that line, then you pretty much gonna probably lose out a little bit on that trade in terms of you investing, right, to the long side. That means that, the short seller going to add more to that float, to eat up the float and push the stock more and more, which it went down, further and further, right? So again, it ended up going down, from 26.90 something down to a low of 25.72, right? And we just hit that level again in terms of what support. We're just talking about that. I had my alert set at 25.71. It went down there and hit that level and what bounced off of and went back up. So that means that's a big level of support at 25.72, meaning there's a lot of bulls that bought into the stock at what? At that price. So there are a lot of people sitting at that price average in a sense. If that stuff makes sense, you guys. So if that stuff making sense, you guys, a little bit, press 1 in the back chat. Let me know you're paying attention, right? This is how you're going to learn how to do this stuff. So if it's making sense to you guys a little bit, press 1. If it don't, obviously you don't have to press 1. We'll get there. But, I just want to be able to do these things in real time so you can see it actually happening in real time. So you can kind of make sense of this stuff. So if it's making sense to you guys in the back chat, press 1 a little bit in terms of support and resistance lines and, what may cause the stock to kind of sell off, what may cause the stock to kind of even go up. So in that moment, it was a good short sell value in that regard. So I took that position. Obviously, I'm benefiting from that stock now, right? So this is one of the reasons, right? And it would have been the same for Lowe's if I was able, if I was trading the Lowe's and pull up the Lowe's chart and show you exactly what Lowe's were doing when they did this morning. It was just up, down, it was all over the place. And then it kind of hit that level where it started fading a little bit, right? It went up there around like $90.80-something, then it faded, right? So if I look at Lowe's real quick here on my TD Ameritrade account here, let me see where we at in Lowe's. So it's now right back up near the highs. So again, a very, very, weird trade. Number one, because it sold off a lot this morning because they had bad earnings, right? So the stock was already down majorly, right? Because it gapped down from $96, $97, excuse me, $96.50. It gapped down from 96 all the way down to $86. Imagine that. That stock lost $10 a share and literally in minutes. So when you hear people say, man, I make this kind of money in minutes, this is why. Where investors will punish your company if you don't do right by their investment. So that's basically what happened. They didn't beat on their earnings, meaning enough people weren't going in and buying those supplies from Lowe's and stuff like that. A lot of things that Lowe's had going on over the last little holiday season session. Lowe's didn't get a lot of sales apparently, or they didn't do a lot of make enough acquisitions and grow their their marketing value, which is the point where they can bring in more buyers to their products and goods. Because of that, the stock got punished. So it lost $10 literally in a matter of minutes. $10 a share in minutes. So let that marinate. So if you was in that stock and you was bullish to the long side because you just like Lowe's, two things. If it's a long-term investment, you don't panic, right? Because that's a part of the game. It sells off and it gets it back, right? That's a part of the game. But if you was a short-term investor in that stock and you say, well, I'm on the planet for its price action value alone, then you saw this as an opportunity, right? You find out you got the news that they were going estimate they was probably going miss on their earnings. So in that moment, you saw charting and seeing how it was last time when they had the last earnings. How did the market respond? What's the sentiment of the overall market right now as a whole? Will it really punish the stock more than it is deserving of? You say, well, I'm gonna take a short position where I think they're gonna miss on earnings, right? Because Home Depot keep getting on the shine right now, which they are doing. Home Depot killing them on the shine level right now. So Home Depot getting all the attention, right? It's taking a lot of money out of the Lowe's house, right? Right? Home Depot actually is a part of the Dow Jones Industrial Index, one of the big weighted stocks that pulls, has a lot of movement, value in terms of the entire market. So Lowe's kind of comes in as as a stepchild. So again, this is the reason why that stock pulled back, like it did. And then after that, it kind of, after sold off so much, new buyers came in at the bottom, right, and bought the bottom to kind of ride it back up to the top. So you make money going down again, and you make money going back up. So if you bought that bottom, which was around like $86.50 when it opened up this morning, around that price, somewhere around there, and it's up to like $9, excuse me, $90.87 right now. Well, basically you already up additional about $4 or $5 that fast. So you got $5 a share just by being patient, realizing what's going on in that stock, and you winning right now. So if you had, let's say, bought 100 shares of Lowe's off the bottom, which was $87.56, $86.50, and it's up like $90, pretty much near $91 now, right? And you got your little $4 or $5 a share there. How much money you up with 100 shares at $5? So you made a quick little $500, right? And let's just say 9:30 to what time it is now, like 1:13, 1:50. We just say 1:30 just for the sake of it. So that'd be 10:30 11:30, 12:30, like 4 or 5 hours, basically. You made $500 in about 4 or 5 hours. Who winning, who losing? Let that marinate. Again, this is why we do this. So making smart decisions. So you made $400, $500 just by pushing the button. And you actually on the job working for Mr. Charlie. You did that from underneath your desk or on the way to the bathroom, hiding in the bathroom, trading the market, right? You saw that big sell-off in Lowe's and say, man, they got new buyers going to come in at some point and bring the stock back up, right? Off that bad scenario because they're going to rebound at some point because you like the company because it's a big company for whatever reason. You'd have made your quick little $500 off that trade, right? We're talking about that mortgage goal, right? That's pretty much a third of your mortgage goal already taken care of right there. That $1,500 a month in mortgage, you didn't hit that in one trade. So that means you got $1,000 more to make over literally, 27, 29, 30 some odd days to pay your mortgage off to hit your goal. That means you got no stress going to the next 30 something days to trade the market to hit your goal to be able to pay your mortgage off. Right? So, again, this is why we do this. This is why we're excited about this opportunity. Right? So, I keep talking about it for that reason because I want you guys to understand it, get it, benefit from it, and then we move on from there. So real quick, so we'll take some questions real quick. So because I didn't plan to be on that long, I just want to kind of go over from the market day perspective where we're at in terms of the midday level, and we'll take a few questions, then I'm gonna get out of it because I got to make some runs and go take care of some some business endeavors. I got to mail some packages off to some people, whatnot, and go finish out my deal a little bit so I can come back and trade the back end of the market. So my brother Chris McKinney says, after part, how long does it take to learn how to read charts and know how and when to get out and if you should stay in the trade? So again, learning how to read charts, right? For me, I speak strictly for me, right? And for some of you guys may be reading that same word. It's about really understanding how to determine the patterns, right? So we all have little different charts that teach about the different patterns and how to trade them. All right, it starts with the candles first, right? We learn how to read the candles, right? The different hammers, the inverted hammers, the Greystone Doji, the tweezer bottoms, and the star clusters, all the different, the basic, the dojis, the number one that everyone knows, right? And once you learn those basic reality in terms of opening and close values of a particular candle, the opening price, the closing price, the high of the candle, the low of the candle, right? I think it's called the HDLOC, something like that, right? From there, then you start putting it in perspective to the overall graph or chart perspective, right? So you start small, break that stuff down, then learn how to read the chart. So when I just went over that whole chart in terms of ACAD, right? When I was showing you that ACAD trade, right? We looked for a pattern, right? Because when you're trading intraday, typically the only thing you're looking for when you're trading stocks in terms of real time from a day perspective, from day to day, intraday perspective, you look for price action, chart and pattern trade setup, right? And investor sentiment along with obviously the catalyst value or the technical analysis or market analysis at that moment. That's it. Those are the only things you're really looking for in the trade for that day. Do they have news? What's the chart? The fundamental value in terms of their short interest and float value, right? I mean, is it what's the level of the that can cause the stock to kind of go up and down in terms of its current standing. The price action, meaning the investor sentiment, how much people are interested in that stock for the day to kind of bring in more additional volume than they may have had the day before, right? And then the chart setup in terms of the pattern that you're seeing on the stock, in terms of what it looks like from its previous history to where it's at today, right? So you go back and say, well, it has a habit of breaching this level of resistance, right? I look back, a week ago, and he was up near this area again. It couldn't push through that price point. So that means that must be the resistance level. Okay, where's the base support? Okay, I see that they couldn't, breach that level of support, a while back. So that means that must be the level of support. So in this particular one, as you see me scrolling over, it was way up here, trading way up here. So it had a resistance level of like 32.50 up in near the peak areas, right? And that means it was traded at a very high level for quite a while up there at that price point, doing pretty well for itself. And then instantly start seeing last on the 27th, which was yesterday, literally started showing a little bit of downtrend. See, that's when the selling started coming in because people knew that they had earnings coming up, right? I think they had earnings or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So with that, people were what? Skittish about the earnings because they might have saw some things in the company or read some things about the company that they weren't necessarily what? Kind of doing pretty well with the budget or the books. So instantly what happened was you saw that downtrend from 32.50 all the way down to what? 31.20. That's what it closed out yesterday. The market, it closed yesterday around 31.20, somewhere around there. Gave up literally about $1 and what? 30 cents a share in that whole day worth of trading. So if you shorted that, you got $1.50 off that trade, shorting it for that whole entire day. Right after that, it gapped down, right? They had news or whatever the case, the stock gapped down. So whatever it was, it gapped down from 31.20 all the way down to what? $28.27. Literally gave away about $3 in that pullback. Kind of make a little retrace, had to come back up, gain some of it back. When people sympathetic buying the bottom, as they so-called thought, right? Push it back up. Someone probably bought off that bottom and sold at the top again. So they're just scalping at this point, right? So it did that, come pre-market, and then guess what it did? Sold off. You know what I'm saying? It sold off again. Here comes the downtrend. Market opened up today, 27.70-ish. Right? As soon as it opened up, it didn't have no hope of going to the upside. It eventually, it just initially just sold off. So from 27.70-ish all the way down to once again that level of support. As you see, I have my lines here set here, my alert levels to $25. $2 and change in terms of profit value per share. So I'm just seeing patterns. So throughout the day, I'm just reading the patterns. So what pattern do I see here? It's right now we know it's in a very bullish stance. Bearish stance. So instantly my patterns that I'm looking for here are going to be what? Bearish trending type patterns, right? In a bearish kind of market in a sense. So eventually I'm just going through my sheet of different patterns, figuring out which ones what are these different patterns, whatnot, and I'm feeding off that information, that cheat sheet in a sense. These are cheat codes in terms of learning those patterns, right? Bullish pennant, bearish pennant, triple top, double top, head and shoulders, cup and handle, J hook patterns. Y'all know all these different patterns, right? Triple bottom, double bottom, right? That means it's going to probably go up. ABCD pattern, right? When you learn all these different patterns, just how you learn your entry and your exits in terms of support and resistance. If that makes sense, my brother Chris McKinney. So we already charted the support level, which was down $25 and what? $25.60, somewhere around there. Because we saw that's what it hit. It hit that earlier this morning. Twice. It bounced up it twice. So that was a double bottom. It actually had a double bottom off the low. That would cause it to go up. That was a double bottom to the bottom that caused it to go up. And then it had a double bottom, a double top, would cause it to come down. This stuff is not hard once you realize it from that perspective. It's showing you initially, here's your chance to make money going down. Here's your chance to make money going up. And here's your chance to make money going back down. Right? So, money to be made, buku money to be made all day, every day. Right? Like move the Django. We gonna, make work you from sun up to sundown all day, every day. Right? And that's what we're doing. We're making money up and down all day, every day, by making smart decisions based upon what we've been able to analyze in terms of this stock or this trade from the patterns alone. You might have came into the market not knowing nothing about the news, not knowing nothing about why the stock is so long, any of that stuff, but you just came in and said, you know what? If nothing else, I know what patterns are. I know how to read the charts. What's the chart telling me? Oh, this is a bearish trade for the day. Right? How much volume did it normally have? Normally trades at, about 1 million shares traded today. Today is trading at 2 million shares, and it's all to the downside. Meaning it's a bearish amount of traders that came in. So that means short sellers must be buying up the float, right? That means it's going to trend down a little bit throughout the day. So you come in and say, okay, double bottom here. That means it's going to probably push up a little bit, right? A little accumulation, right? Especially with this little extra volume. And it did that. Then you saw at the top of it and say, oh, here's a double top. That means it couldn't break through this level of resistance up here. That means it's probably going to sell off a little bit. So now I'm going to short sell it now. Make money up. Now I'm going to make money going down. I took my short position here. I'm going to push it down. Make money going down now. And now you saw it going sideways here, a little accumulation before you had another breakdown, bearish trend here, right? Draw your trend line from here to here. That's a bearish trend. Then you had a level of accumulation right here, meaning it just went sideways, right? It didn't necessarily go up or down. And guess what happened? It accumulated a little volume there. Buyers and, short sellers in that point saying, okay, it's not going to go any lower at this point. I'm going to cover my short sale, right? The stock ain't going any lower. Soon he covers his short sales, buyers bulls buy up his shares. That makes it aggressive. It starts what? Squeezing to the upside. That's only because shorts cover their positions, right? And then again, it went right up there to that level of what? That new level of what? Resistance, right? If you look at that level of resistance here from this line here, which is 2640 something, and then couldn't break that level. And then you had what? A downtrend cup like pattern here, came back up again, right? Had a lower what? Resistance now. Now you got a what? Lower resistance, right? You have no, what they call when they say old resistance become new support. Now new support becomes what? Old support becomes new resistance, basically, in a sense. So your new support line, right, becomes your new level of resistance. I mean, you can't break that to go back up, right? For some cases in terms of this stock, right? So this level here of old support here, right, becomes what? New resistance in a sense. So it's pushing it back down. So this becomes your next level here, right? Down here around 2602, right? Next level of what? Resistance to the downside, right? Pops back up, hit a new level of support that's lower than the previous one, comes back down, tests that level of what? New level of support, resist to the downside, and breaks through it, comes back down lower, right? So this is, once again, how to learn how to read. So you guys will get this stuff over time. Trust me. It's about going through the progression over and over and over and over till you get this stuff like a science. And once you get this, again, you don't have to know nothing about no news. It's good to know this stuff. Don't get it twisted, but you don't have to know about none of this stuff because you understand the basic fundamentals to learn how to trade. You come into the market late in the day. You just reading what? Volume, price action, and looking over a little basic technical analysis, a little back end fundamental in terms of short value, in terms of volume. You say, okay, that's all I need to see. The stock is in the bullish trend, right? Where's the level of support at? Where's the level of resistance at? Where's this medium level at? Where's it in terms of this VWAP, right? That weighted average price. That's all I need to know. Let me go trade the stock, right? And that's how you benefit from those moments, right? So you will learn that once again by just knowing how to read those patterns. That gives you a better value of knowing where your entry should be as opposed to your exit should be, right? So again, we basing that on the VWAP line as being the litmus test, or the medium line or the gun line, to kind of give us an indication whether the stock is going to be what? Bearish or bullish, right? So every time it breaches the VWAP line and goes underneath that, that's what? Money. Until it hits the level of support, that's when you recover, right? And then you what? Let us see if you can kind of get back up to the VWAP line. If it does, okay, I'm watching it now, right? If it breaches the VWAP line and holds more than about 1 or 2 candles, depending on the price action, then that means it's a bullish trade. I may buy it long for a scalp. I scalp it up for about 20, 30 cents, right? And hit a level of support, or schema resistance where it can't break through it. I short it again. Now I'm shorting back down again. Under VWAP, hits VWAP, I add more to my short to VWAP. If it can't hold it, what? Come back above VWAP more than about 1 or 2 candles, I add more to my shares and push it back down lower. And I just watch, rinse, repeat all day, every day, all throughout this whole entire trade. Making money all day long, up and down, all day long. So again, you guys will learn all this stuff. I know it sounds like, what is the guy talking about? But once you learn this, again, you learn this craft, learn this trade, learn the fundamentals, learn the technicals, all right, learn the charts and the patterns, these different scenarios, you are set for life if you learn how to do it right with some discipline. And that's what it's all about. That's what, I want to be able to share in terms of what I learned thus far. Once again, you don't have to take everything from me. Again, y'all know my mentality. Find your own niche, steal from everybody. Don't be locked into no one trading style reality. Learn how to diversify your skill set. Use this craft to your benefit. Steal from everybody, but find your own niche. Find your comfort level, basically. What makes you feel good about how to trade the market. Swing trade, day trade, long-term invest, whatever. Just make sure you make a smart decision with your capital. And you're not out there just kind of actually trying to gamble with the market. You don't use the market for gambling. You use the market for what? Building wealth. Right? That's why we're here. We're here to build something so we can leave something behind for our kids. Right? For some of you guys that ain't got kids, for the ones that's coming down in the near future. Right? So we don't have to worry about struggling and passing on debt to them. We can pass on a surplus for a change, or pass on the bag to them. Secure the bag, right? That's the mantra, right? That's a t-shirt. Secure the bag. I already been talking about that for long, but I'm gonna make a t-shirt. Secure the bag. Put a little bag in there with some money, dollar signs in there, right? And I may have different exchanges in there, different markets that's inside that bag, like the crypto market, common stock market. For it, I might have all of them inside that bag. Secure the bag. pretty much secure your opportunity, secure your chance to get some of this money that's been made on a daily level that you're missing up on because you're fearful and doubting and pessimistic all the time. Glass half empty as opposed to glass half full, right? So again, this is why we do this. So I hope that answers your question there, brother Chris McKinney. So yeah, you're 100% right. Trade stocks die trying double top. You saw that double top, right? That double top instantly was what? Bearish signal, right? It couldn't breach through that level of resistance. Sold off. Bulls got frustrated. They start selling. Shorts, when they start selling, shorts start buying up what? Their shares, buying up that float value, buying up those free shares that are available at that moment to push it down what? Lower. Till they hit their little goal, they target point 20, 30, 40 cents. They cover their short position. New bulls come in and buy up those new shares and push it back up. That's all it is, guys. Watch, rinse, repeat. We just exchanging shares from hand to hand. I take the bag, make money off of it. I pass the bag off to you, and hopefully you push it up, make you some money, pass out to the next bag holder. Right? And that's how this stuff goes, on and on and on and on. From an intraday perspective, we just strictly speaking intraday, meaning day trading. But from a long term, you sitting and you holding regardless through the ups and the downs. That's what it's all about, turning long term investing. Right? So that's important. Right? So, this is some of the things that, like I said, we're discussing, and, we're learning this stuff as we go. So again, when you guys get to that point of investing and trading, you'll learn how to master these things and make it happen. Right? So, I just want to share that stuff with you guys in terms of doing like a little midday market recap. We already know the market once again is kind of in a very ambiguous state. Right now we have, they're just talking about the Billy Graham funeral. All right, so we already know. So I don't know if you guys know about the news, right? It was a shooting at a Georgia high school. So another shooting at a high school. So gun stocks, right? They've been under fire a lot lately, right? Ruger got actually earnings next week, so Ruger finna get punished, along with what? American Outdoor Brand and Clothing, which is the parent company for Smith & Wesson. So you might want to look at those gun stocks and to short them, right? I'm definitely going to short a gun stock. Why wouldn't it? If everybody can be bullish buying prison stocks that's locking my people up, I'm going to short these gun stocks that they want to use to shoot and kill people with. Obviously, we know guns kill people, right? I mean, people kill people with guns and guns don't, but still, they don't need access to these high-powered rifles. What an 18-year-old kid need with an AR-15? You ain't in the military. You ain't in nobody militia, man. Sit your behind down, little Rambo wannabe. You're going to hurt somebody. And you already still brain ain't fully developed. You still puberty and hormone raging, right? You think you bigger and bad than everybody. You go out and buy an AR-15, that gun, and got your little kahuna swollen like you somebody kicked you with a bowling ball with them. They swollen. You think you bad. You finna go out and hurt somebody. And that's basically what happened is these kids getting these guns, right? Buying them with barely enough credentials to buy them, right? Because the gun line, the gun laws, are so ambiguous when it comes to, certain people's society, right? Black kid going to buy a gun under the same mentality, not gonna happen. White kid going to buy a gun, he walk out with a gun case and some bullets. He'll take these bullets on the house. I'm just saying, numbers don't lie, the data don't lie. This is what the data says. So again, those type of guns don't need to be in the hands of no little 18-year-old kid anyway, 17-year-old kid anyway, 19-year-old kid. You ain't, man, look at here. But yeah, let me move on. But so again, we just found out there's another high school shooting at a Georgia school today. So, this is the society you live in, a gun crazy society, a very skittish and fearful people that feel like they got power when they got a weapon in their hand. So, this whatever. Y'all get it. All right, so let me ask another question. Let me get ready to get out here and go make these little trips to the post office. I'm still new, but on the daily 1-year chart, when you look at an intraday chart on ACAD, it's hitting yearly resistance, right? Are you going to take it off or buy it again, the next resistance after that? All right, so typically when I'm looking at once again support resistance in particular trades, especially from a day trade perspective, right? Again, you kind of broke down what it looked like on the annual perspective there, right? So let me see if I can pull up the yearly chart, year to date. Man, I hate when I do this year to date because I got my indicator set up where, with the channel breakout. Let me downsize it. All right, I'm gonna have to really squinch it down, make it make sense to you guys here. Excuse me, forgive me here, guys. All right, let me stretch it out a little bit here, that way, and then let's break it down to a year, right? So this is the yearly chart, right? So we got and let's see, that's where we at here. Okay, so the 28th, obviously, right? So let's go back to February of last year, right? 2017. So 2017, February 28th of last year, right? I was this last day of Black History Month. You know, I'm crying over here. I like my little I like my little Black History Month. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right, so right here, so yearly chart, right? Look at the yearly, right? We're talking about 1 year from now. We always look at the 52-year chart as a litmus test to find out if the stock had a premium price point at some point, or a premium deficit point at that point, as a way of saying, you know, this how this stock has performed, right, in 1 year's time span. This is how this company has performed in 1 year's time span, which says a lot about how the stock will be trading, obviously, in today's perspective, right? So if you look back on the 28th here, right? So on the 28th of last year, right, the same time last year, the stock was traded at $40.14 as a high, right? Right? Today, the stock opened up at what? 2770-ish. So you can do the percentage value in that in terms of how the stock then dropped in 1 year time span. So in 1 year time span, dropped from $40.16 or whatever the case, $40, excuse me, $40 like basically we'll just say $40. No, hold up. What a 28 there, excuse me, guys. So we'll just say from right here. So it came from $40.24 all the way down to $27.70 in terms of when it opened up today. So what does that tell you about this company in a yearly perspective? So type in the back chat if you understand what I'm saying. What does that tell you about this company in 1 year projection in terms of how this company has performed from a good business perspective? Did they do pretty good in business, or did they do bad in business? Even before they had their earnings today, right? Or excuse me, how they did the earnings. Before that, right, the stock was trading at what? $32. So we just say from $32, right, to $40, right? They've been on a downtrend from a yearly perspective. So this is for my long-term investors. I'm going to learn how to do long-term investing. That means they gave up literally about $8 a share from their yearly perspective. The stock pretty much sold off $8 a share in a 52-week time span. So that means it's in a bearish stance right now. That means the company must be not doing something so good in terms of the valuations, in terms of acquisition, new mergers or new different products that may help grow their product line. Because this is a biopharmaceutical company, a biotech company. So that means their drugs and their pipeline may not be that good. They might be looking for FDA approval, whatever the case, and it's not happening. So out of 52 weeks, they've been on the downtrend. Right? This is how you're going to learn this stuff, guys. Seriously. This is how serious, easy this stuff going to be when you really make it make sense. Your goal is to make all this stuff make sense. Right now, it sounds like, a new foreign language, like reading the meta-nature. Right? Which you should learn that language, especially. But, parts of it and nothing else. So you're seeing what's happening here. That means they're not doing good by their, their investors or the company value, or your money that's pumped into them not necessarily giving you a good return on your investment. Now, if you're doing once again, you just like the company, you know that they're going to rebound because you're waiting on them to kind of hit these certain milestones and drug approvals or whatever the case. Then yeah, you buying some time. That's fine. You can go down $8 a share, and then it might go back up, right? 7, 8, excuse me, 10, 11, 12, $15 a share on kind of some pending news that they might just be waiting on, and it took an entire year for them to get their business together. But you don't know the case until you go read the fundamentals of the company. Go find out what's the problem, what's going on with this company. If that's making sense to you guys, you see exactly what I'm talking about. If that makes sense, you'll see exactly what I mean when I'm saying that. So for me, it was like, okay, I went and looked at the 52-week chart, right? And I looked at the VWAP and said, okay, okay. It was sitting up above VWAP, going into their earnings, right? As soon as earnings hit, they didn't do good on their earnings, right? As you see here on this symbol here, I have it set up here where that lets me know that these are the moments when they have their earnings, right? We know earnings happen quarterly out the year, right? You get 4 terms of to give your earnings report out of a fiscal year, right? Out of one full fiscal year, you have 4 times to give an earnings report of how good you're doing, like a report card in a sense, right? So some of you guys are ultimately new to this. You're getting a report card and knowing exactly where your performance level is at that out of that 3 months time span, right? So out of 3 months, what have you done in 3 months, right? What have you done for me lately? That one of those scenarios, right? So you find out in 3 months, right, from the last particular earnings, the stock was trading at a multiple of $33 a share. It was way up here at $33 a share, right? And guess what? They must have missed on earnings again back in November. Because guess what happened? It sold off again from $33 all the way down to a lower $25.81, back to that same level of support again. Now y'all see what's happening here. it always goes down to about a low support level around what, $25 and some odd change. Right? As you see right here, 25, what, 25.70 is somewhere around there. So I mean, that's been a level of support that's been holding on for the past what, 5 or 6 months. So that means a lot of people that bought into the stock actually around that price. That's what's holding it from going all the way underneath it and breaking all the way through it. Imagine that. Imagine that. Right? But today, you know, this is the second time at trying to breach that level of resistance around $32, $33 at this last level. And the earnings, once again, disappointed again. Today, they said, you know what, man, we done. So guess what it did? It actually broke down a little bit, but probably a little bit below that level of support almost. Looking at the daily or the yearly here, but if I go back to the daily chart, you'll see that it's flirting back with that level of what? Support. So if it breaks through that today, then it may go what? A lot lower. So let's go back a little further and find out what's the last major level of support. The next level of support in this stock after that 25.70 area is actually around like 24.28 as the base level, but obviously it's going to be a little bit higher in some cases, but that's the base level. Outside of that, you got 24, basically like $25 even, somewhere around there, $25 even. So hold dollar mark. From that, then the next level will be probably down, you know, you can start charting at that point, putting it up on your chart saying what? Okay, you got 25, 24.93, 24.70-ish, 80-ish, then down to 24.28-ish. So you can literally chart the downtrend on this stock and calculate how much money you want to make per share off the ability for the stock to kind of keep what? Trending downward, if that makes sense to you guys. This stuff is not hard once you get. I know it's still foreign right now to a lot of y'all. Like, man, it's a lot. But once you get this, guys, you better do this with your eyes closed. And you could be on a vacation and say, let me go trade the market today. I may not know what's going on with a particular company right now, but I can read on the news like really instantly, real quick, get information data real quick, go check its fundamentals like instantly, real quick, and then go take my position like real quick, depending on the market, you know, value for that day. If the market is bullish or bearish, and particular in relation to that stock and how it's particularly going to be trading that day from the news, the catalyst, the trend, whatever. You put it all together, mash that thing together, and now you got a what? A cake or a pie. That's going to produce you some what? Some gravy, some sweetness, some money, basically. And then you good to go. You know, so, you know, I'm hoping this answers some of you guys' questions so you can see exactly how we chart this stuff through the different patterns, right? So I'm seeing a pattern here. That's a downtrend pattern from last earnings in November to this earnings here. If I drew a line from there, let me draw a line here. Let me hit this little thing here. So let's do a line here. So from here to here, guys, which is like pretty much the resistance level here, right? Hold on, let me click it here. Right there, right? So from $33, right, down to 32, right? So basically about $1, near $1 and change there, pretty much near $1, right? That's the downtrend in terms of what if you stayed in this stock alone, you know, you only really gave up, you know, let's say 70, 80 cents in terms of just, you know, erratic movement, meaning down, up, and all the way back up again. So you wouldn't be panicking. You wouldn't panic if you're a long-term investor, if you just bought into the stock, you know, now to start investing in this company for the long side. You might have heard some news that they got some drugs coming out that it's going to improve their company. They might have looked rancid over the past year, but now they're turning their company around. So if they're turning the company around now I could probably take my position here, right? I don't need to take it without making an informed decision. I'm taking my position here now because they're going to turn the company around. Or it could be, you know, they haven't improved from month, you know, the last three months of the year. Their last quarterly report. This company's in a downtrend now. They're in a bad place right now. They're in a sunken place, in a sense. They can't get right. They like can't get right on the movie Life, right? I keep using the life analogies, right? We're gonna miss you can't get right. That's what ACAD is today. ACAD is I can't get right. They can't get right. So they sold off today. Boom. Hit that level of resistance at 32, paying for it today. Next level support, you know, 25, you know, 60s, 50s. After that, down to what? $25 even. Then below that, 24, which we just saw the next levels of support. So again, this stuff is not rocket science once you learn how to make it make sense and dumb it down, right? Again, this is why we're doing this. This is why we do this, right? So I'm going back to the daily chart here, to the daily here. All right, so Let me stretch this out again so I can kind of get back to where I was looking at it from the daily perspective, so you guys see what I'm talking about, right? That's why I love using TradingView, right? I love that chart. I use it in the chart, chart my stocks and whatnot. All right, but again, so you guys seeing what's going on here basically at this point in the game. Let me stretch this out for you guys can see it on the live stream, and you can see it more clearly. So that those level of resistance, and support levels, right? So now you have what? It's producing what? Higher lows. So as you see at this peak point here, it's producing higher lows, right? So if I draw a trend line here from here, all right, we know that's what was pretty much was the high after it sold off from the the initial movement. Hold on, let me move that out of the way. All right, so we're talking about that almost like that double top. Come on, thing. Line here, right? All these little indicators and so forth. Hold up. God dog it. Hold up, guys. It's affecting my I have a little alert line up there, so I'm trying to make sure I can draw it without it being a problem. Let me just do it a little bit higher from it. Okay, yeah. So from here to here, if you guys seeing this trend line here that I'm showing here, right? Let me just do it from right here to here. That means that entire line right there is a level of what? That's his top trend line level from the intraday high perspective, right? It had an intraday high, meaning high of day in terms of its daily perspective, and ever since then it's been downtrending, right? It's been downtrending to the next level of major resistance came right here, right? Because it's all right here where it kind of bounced around up here at this level here, and it couldn't necessarily break through it here, right? It was around about $26 and what 10, 11, 15 cents, right? So instantly, if I saw that as a short sell again, if I'm already in this stock to the downside, and I see that it couldn't push through the higher, I would have actually added more shares short here at this level because they couldn't break through, right? Increase my share size to get more leverage than what? Pushing it down lower. And you saw exactly what happened. It broke down what? It broke down some more. Then you had a big bearish candle here, it broke down even more. And now we down here, down near the lows, actually under the what? The brief support level that we kind of charted at 25.71. It's underneath that now. That means it's in some dangerous territory at this price here. Meaning ain't nobody really coming in, the body starting to push back up. That means at any point here, what? Go lower. Obviously, in my case, we look down here at the RSI, the relatively sliding index that I use. This, I love this indicator because this gives you an understanding of the stock what overbought or oversold, meaning if there's too many people buying it or not enough people buying it. So right now it's in the oversold moment. A lot of people just sold it off pretty much. They just sold it off. It's down here at the peak level of on the RSI. But even though we know the stock is already in a bearish trend, meaning it's going down, nobody want to buy this at this point, at this price point, because it's what? It's horrible to them in their mindset. Chances are the thing's gonna end up doing what? Going lower, right? Unless something happened in the market to turn the whole market around to make people want to come back in and buy, because investor sentiment in the overall market, as we do in a midday market recap, is not so what? So aggressive and so bullish. People are not excited about buying stocks at this point in the market. By proxy, that means the stock can potentially go what? It can go lower, right? So we already broke through my level of alert levels here, right? So that means I'm already what? I'm deep in the money. I'm high in the money area here because it broke my level of support, right? So if I go chart another layer of support here, so that if I'm away from my computer at any moment, I can find out what's the next level of support is at, right? I could be on point. I can hear that sound go off like, oh, okay. That means what? I'm good to go, right? I'm still what? Making money. So my next level of support here is this what? This wick here on this candle here. It came down and dropped the wick underneath that, meaning it was a lot of what? Undecided buyers and sellers at that point. That's what you get when in terms of a wick, right? So let me chart my next level of support or alert level at that what? That last level there. Hold up. It didn't draw it. Hold up. That was wrong, guys. It's on the top of it. Here. So it's going to be around 25.62, right? That's going to be my next level of support in terms of the breakdown, or in my case, next level of resistance support as a short seller. That's the next level it has to break through to go down lower. So that becomes a new level of resistance, right? You flip it going to the upside, right? Support resistance on top, support's on the bottom. When you're going short selling, your resistance is at the bottom and your support is at what? The top, if that makes sense to you guys, right? You're just doing the inverse. You're just flipping it around that whole, support resistance level. So again, in this moment, this stock is showing me what? A very bearish trend. So I was making money there. So again, I don't know where I'm at right now, where I'm at on the day. Okay, so $2,400, right? So they're $2,500 on the day so far, right? And that's with my stocks is going up and down, having a little natural progression. We saw AQRs kind of pick back up a little bit here. We saw what Riot did the same thing because the market turned around a little bit, right? We see right the market's still trending in a sideways scenario here. I mean, it's not necessarily bullish, right? And it's not necessarily just overly bearish, but it's still showing that it's what bearish because it's lower than what the market opened up at today, right? So that means overall the market is still somewhat in a very ambiguous bearish trend, if that makes sense to you guys. It can't seem to breach at a certain level to get back up to those highs what it was today thus far in the market. So that shows that investors are still skittish about want to come in with a lot of money, right? The people that's down on Wall Street, they're kind of skittish about want to just buy. The Jim Cramer scenario. They're like, no, I'm gonna wait this out a little bit, right? Because the market level. See, right now I got AQRX kind of turning over a little bit here. For some of you guys that's watching that, see, it went up there, hit that level of resistance around that level here at 1726. Couldn't break through it, right? Hit it twice and couldn't break through. Now selling back off again, back down almost near 10 cents a share that fast. If you were scalping this stock real fast, if you just wanted 10, 20 cents a share, let's say you got big money, but that's for more experienced traders, right? So you come in and take 1,000 shares. I'm gonna take 1,000 shares short at this level of resistance that couldn't break through from 17, 26, 27, and I'm gonna short it down. I'm just looking for a 10-cent scalp, right? That's what scalp selling is. You just buying it quick and selling it fast on top of a quick move. So in that moment, I picked up 10, 11 cents a share from 1,000 shares. How much money did I just make in about literally? Let's do this. These are 1 minute candles, mind you. So 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes, right? I picked up 11 cents a share with 1,000 shares, right? How much money did I make in 4 minutes? Somebody throw them in the back chat. Let me know you're paying attention. How much money did I just make that fast in 4 minutes by trading this stock at that top, that top levels of resistance that it couldn't break down? I end up picking up 11 cents a share with my 1,000 shares. How much money did I just make in literally 4 minutes? Somebody throw them in the back chat. How much money I made with 11 cents with 1,000 shares? I picked up 11 cents of profit per share, and I did that in 4 minutes. How much money did I make with 1,000 shares? Somebody do the math real quick. So it's basically 11 cents, right? 11 cents times 1,000 shares. How much is that? So 11, right? X times 1,000 shares. $110, 100% right, family. Welcome to the bill again, brother Sunline, over Sunline in the house, right? All right. So real quick, you made $110, right? In 4 minutes. In 4 minutes worth of trade, you made $110. Doing what? Pushing some buttons. Who winning, who losing? Obviously, knowing what you're doing and charting this thing properly, knowing what you're doing, obviously, that don't mean that anybody's just going to do this if they don't know what they're doing, but you get my point. 100% right, family. Dollars and strength all day, every day. You made a quick little $110 in 4 minutes. You on the job, you make $100 an hour, right? Who make $100 an hour on their job? Anybody? Not trying to put you on the spot, but let's just say you make $100 an hour on the job. You work 7, 8 hours a day, 8, 9 hours a day, right? Then we're talking pretty decent money, right? Right? So you end the day with $800, $900 on the day in terms of what you made on the job, right? That's before taxes and all that stuff hit it and whatever the case. You made $800, $900 a day, right? I just made $110 in 4 minutes. Let that marinate. Let that turn over your head real fast. Let that turn over your head real fast. I made $110 in 4 minutes, not hours, not days, but minutes. Who winning, who losing? I cover my position, I'm out. I'm done for the day. I don't have to go back to the market and trade if I don't want to. I can if I choose to. That's my choice if I want to as an investor. Period. Game over. Lights out. Drops mic. Who winning, who losing? How many of you guys can use $110 right now just on the fly? You might want to go have lunch with a friend or a date, or take the wife out, take the hubby out, take the kids out. Right? You want to take the kids out of school early, right? Go surprise your child, right? Go take them to his favorite little park or whatnot. And the market just paid for your experience. The market just paid for your experience. because you was what, sharp and due diligent about learning how to go in the market to procure capital by using this machine to what, to take care of your what, your little, you know, part-time means or whatnot. Even sometimes your full-time sale, like we just talked about how to pay your mortgage off from a monthly perspective. Who can use an extra $110 like right now? Just by pushing the button, putting down a little capital to make it happen. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying, guys, you know, I can't stress this enough. You know, that's why I go hard with this information. This is why I know this is going to be vital to a lot of our people once we start doing this, because how many black people you know that trade in the market? We're far and few between in terms of the data. Black investors, oh, forget about it. Man, what's that? Man, I don't know nothing about no stock market, man. Old people tell you, oh, that's gambling. I don't be gambling. And they go right in the church and give all their money away to Jesus. So how Jesus get them? I don't want to go politically religious, but y'all get my point. Y'all know where I'm going with this. Y'all know what side of the aisle I come down on when it comes to that too. You won't pay your mortgage off, your car note off, your phone bill off, but you'll give the money to your church. God gonna give it back. God gonna give it back. You giving it to the church, to your pastor. How your pastor giving it to the okay, y'all see where I'm going with this. So you rather default on your bill than giving your money to that reality. As opposed to putting your money to work for you through the market or some other, you know, business venture endeavor, right? Make your money become fertile for you, right? Make your money go out there and become a soldier for you, send it to go to war for you, to bring back other money, capture other money, so you can be able to do the kind of things you need to do to take care of your life and your bills. So, you know, to me, this stuff, once again, as I keep saying, it's a no-brainer. It really is, guys. I mean, I can't stress enough. It's a no-brainer. You know, why are we continually working hard when we shouldn't be working this hard? And all this money being made every day around the world globally. And we're excited about our little $20 an hour, our little $30 an hour. Bro, I just made $110 in what, 4 minutes? From that perspective, obviously, you know, just kind of breaking that scenario down. Who working hard and who working smart? So again, let's get excited about this opportunity. Let's get excited about just knowing that you got the opportunity afforded to you at any opportunity, at your leisure, basically. What is required of you to be able to do this? Laptop, cell phone, computer, Wi-Fi signal, initial capital, and some knowledge. Drops mic. Do you have to worry about paying, leasing a building? Do you have to worry about putting insurance on the building? Do you have to worry about set up your internet, you know, phone security system? Do you have to worry about having to get hire a CPA to handle your books and your taxes? Do you have to worry about, you know, you have to deal with distributors to buy inventory? Do you have to worry about, you know, hiring employees and making sure you constantly, you know, keep them, you know, doing the right thing to keep you in a position where you can make some money, right? So having to go through all that HR departments and all that kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? These are the different overheads you have to deal with when it comes to open up a brick and mortar type of business. In some cases, even start an online business. Ain't nothing wrong with it, because I'd rather you be a boss than be a worker. But again, you see that the overhead to start investing is a lot less than the overhead is to open up and start a business. But you actually are in business when you become an investor or a trader, so to speak. Again, so I ask you, what's your overhead? What are your things that you need to get started with? A lot less than what it is to open up a real brick and mortar business or open up a supply chain online. A lot less. Your investment in terms of inventory comes in the aspect of you buying knowledge or learning how to procure knowledge by buying some books here and there, how to trade, if you know how to do it savvy, you know how to get that stuff for free on the internet. Some of you guys already know how to do that. That's what I'm saying. You guys really don't even need me. And I'm going to keep stressing that. I'm not one of the people saying that, you know, hey, you don't need whatever. This is, you know, helpful, but you can figure that stuff out on your own if you take it serious. We take it serious to learn everything else. You know, the latest songs, or the latest dances, and the latest, you know, trending little article, clothing, whatever the case. Put a lot of time in researching about this stuff too. It comes to learn how to make some money. Oh, you absent. You absent from school that day. Man, I don't want to learn about no doggone economy. I don't want to learn about no doggone stock market. I'm gonna skip school today. Basically, that's what happens. That's what you're saying. I'm gonna skip school today when it comes to learn how to make some money. You go play hooky for the day. You're gonna be tardy for the day. You running from an opportunity. You pessimistic. Your glass half empty all the time. You just hate anything that has to do with growth and development beyond having to put in a little work, the benefit. So you basically, all you're doing is running from yourself. My point, you're running from yourself in that moment. Right, but again, not on my watch. Not on my watch. All right, I'm gonna share what I can, and we're gonna build this thing, and we're gonna learn how to put add some fuel to our bottom lines. Right, that's why we're here. Add some fuel to our bottom lines, so we can benefit from it. Right. So again, this is why we're here. Right, this is exactly why we trade the markets. Right. So I'm excited. Like I said, I just want to share this with you guys. Get out of here. Been on about what, near an hour now, near an hour and a half, probably. Started what, 12 or 2 hours? Excuse me, 2 hours. That's a good enough little market recap. Kind of build a little bit on the day what we see in terms of the market. For some of you guys that are still learning and want to learn this here, right? Some of you guys are actually going through the little mentoring program we have with the Introduction to Investing. You're seeing it in real time, so you can't sit here and say, "Well, no, man, no." You're seeing it in real time. You're literally seeing me do this in real time. Right? You seeing this stock break down even more now. Here on that AKRX, right? We just shorted it for 11 cents profit, right? But guess what? If we were still solid and knowing that the stock was going to roll over some more because it's down on this daily per value, then you down even more now. So you started shorting up here at what? 17.27, right? As we saw there, right? Now it's down to what? $17.10. You just picked up what? 27 cents a share. Excuse me, 17 cents a share. Excuse me, 17 cents a share. And what? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11, 12, 13, 14. So in 15 minutes, guys, you made 17 cents a share out of 1,000 shares. So in 15 minutes with 1,000 shares at 17 cents a share, how much money did you just make in profit? You just made $170 in 15 minutes. Dang near $200 in 15 minutes. $200 in 15 minutes. Let that marinate. I know I make it sound easy, but it is once you learn how to do this properly. You want it to be easy once you learn it. Why? You don't want this to be complicated. You just read over charts, understanding some patterns, respecting that to the value of the market, overall trend value, if it's going up or going down, if it's bullish or it's not. And, understand some little technical analysis, fundamental analysis about, how to read necessarily some values of a company. And you benefiting off that like a boss. Like, y'all know my mentality. All you guys are bosses. I don't care if you're on the job right now. You're still a boss to me because you just waiting your time out to take control of your company, take control of your life. You're a boss. Period. Think like that. Let that fuel you. Let's be confident about you're a boss. You just right now in between your moment to taking over your company. That's all it is. You're a boss. The market will make you a boss literally overnight if you learn how to do it right. Period. End of discussion. Drops mic. You guys can do this. So you seen it. Excuse me. Seen it in real time. You saw me sit down and break down that chart. Right, AKRX or ACAD, excuse me. We just talked about AKRX, right? We just talked about that one too, right? You seeing me, in real time do this here, right? The market turned bullish right now. It's back beasting now, but guess what? Because we just came out of what? Out of the lunchtime. This is when the market goes back up. So between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, that's when they typically have lunch hours throughout the whole market. Liberty starts around about 11, but between 12 to 2 is when the market's kind of very stagnant. It's kind of going sideways. Then right after that, investors come back in, right? Meaning capital venturists and hedge funders come back in around that 2 o'clock hour, and they start investing for the last 2 hours of the day. That's when you see the market starts to uptick at that moment. No matter where it's at that moment, you can get a flux of new money coming into the market in that moment to push these stocks either up or either down, depends on the trend. So we saw it go from 0.5 on the SPY up to about 1.3 on the SPY. You see right here on my chart here, if I'm showing, if you guys can see here. We saw the SPY it was sitting at about a 0.5, right? It was just going 0.5 pretty much throughout the whole entire lunch period between 12 to 2. Soon as 2 o'clock hit, algorithm bots kicked in, meaning the automated bots that buy stocks that's programmed to buy certain companies doing certain aspects of the day, kicked back in. It instantly brought new money back into the market, right? And it jumped up from 0.5 and went up to like 1.3. Now it's sitting back at 1.3, which was a high pretty much around the price where the market opened up around today, from the beginning of the day. So it's back up near the opening price of the day in terms of how the market opened up. But this is the level of what? Resistance right here. Meaning if it can't break through this level of resistance here, meaning where the market opened up at, then basically what's going to happen is what? It's going to what? Sell off again. So would I get nervous as a short seller? Probably not. Because I'm watching this now saying, okay, if it can't break this level here, then eventually what's going to happen is the market's going to roll back over, and these stocks that's already what? Probably beat up on the day, going to potentially probably roll back over. So you see right here on this stock, this trade right here on Frontier Communication, right? Y'all know I showed it earlier around the $7 up here in the $7.27 area, 15 cent area, and then what? I sold, rolled it all the way down and sold around $6.70. I kept some of the shares in the short just to event it roll back over, right? So now it's back up in there. What my entry price? What I bought in at? It's at 7.13. I bought in at 7.15. So I'm 2 cents away from what? Hitting my level where I bought in at, right? So it's back up near that area, right? Because the market turned a little bit for what? To the upside. Am I going to panic here? Probably not, because I'm still what? I'm deep in the money. I'm already what? Up a lot of money in this stock. Now it's just back at the price where I bought in at. So I'm not panicking. So it's going to either roll over, right? Or it's going to what? Break through my level of what? Price I bought in. And at that point, I'll cover my position and get out of it. But I'm already up what? In profit. That means what? I hedge my position even in my short by leaving some shares in there in the event that what? It rolls back over, make me actually what? More money. But I'm not losing anything. I already gained because I took some of my money off the table. Now what? Covered some of my position down here at $6.70. If that makes sense, you guys, that's why you watch, rinse, repeat this thing. I didn't need to sell all my shares out of the stock unless I just wanted to. I could have, but I didn't, because like, hey, I'm gonna leave what, additional 300-400 shares left in this thing to then it roll back over. I already didn't capture what, $300-400 and took that off the table, right? So in the event it rolls back over, I mean, I got more opportunity to make more money, right? Y'all hear my alerts going off. That means what? ACAD breaking down. We just got that chart. The ACAD, ACAD is breaking down. It broke through that level of support we were just talking about. So we on our way what? To the downside. That means that's what? More money in that short sale. It's doing exactly how we thought it was going to do and how we charted it and just spoke about it. It's in a downtrend. We just sat there and pulled the chart up to show that it's in a downtrend, right? Pull up that chart again. Real quick. Once again, I got to get out here and go to the post office, mail you guys packages off. All right. It's in a downtrend. We just sat there and watched that, right? There's that level of resistance. It's printing higher lows at this point. Every channel is going what? Lower and lower and lower. It's on its way what? Down. It broke that level at what? Support. Now the next level is going to be what? 25.61. That's my next level alert line here. Excuse me, alert. I got it at 25.59, somewhere around there, right? And then after that, I got what? 25.54. If it breaks 25.50, that means, oh, look out below. It's going to probably go lower. But right now, it's on its way down, looking beautifully to the downside. No struggle there. No kind of what? Flashing up and flashing down. It's on its way down. I'm shorting it so I'm going to sit in that short for the rest of those shares that's in it and just keep pushing it down. So, yeah, I mean, again, this stuff is, y'all getting it. Y'all will get it over time, but y'all starting to see the value in it now. And y'all starting to see how fast you can produce capital in it at your choosing. Meaning you have to be in the market all day long, right? Brother Derek can come in the market, at 1 o'clock, I got some free time, right? I'm on my lunch break. I'm gonna go trade the market on the lunch break, right? You go to your little favorite little pub or restaurant, your little vegan restaurant, right? Y'all know how I am, right? Go to your little vegan restaurant and you trade the market during your lunchtime on the clock, on the boss's time. You finna look for you a quick little scalp, right? You need to make you a little quick little $70, $60 to take care of like your little, little lunch date, or take care of a little, bill for your kid or your wife, right? You want to buy your wife a new purse or whatever, right? A little Dooney bag or a coach or a little whatever, right? You say, I'm finna go make this money during lunchtime. Let me go look at the market. Let me see what's popping. Let me see the charts. We'll see what's going on. Let me see what the highs are today, meaning what stocks are moving at the high today that's making a lot of money. Let me see what's going on on the low today, so it's losing a lot of money. You take your position on either one of those positions, right? Scenario. And buy accordingly to the upside or the downside, and you're just looking for what? 10, 15, 30 minutes of action. Some of you guys maybe what we just saw, 4 minutes of action, 15 minutes of action. You in and you out. Done. You done made that money on your lunch break, eating your lunch, twiddling your thumbs, making money. You look around the entire restaurant, everybody in there losing money because they're in there spending money for lunch, trying to impress people that don't need to be impressed. Or they ain't making no money in that downtime when they're away from the job, because only time they can make money when the clock is running, right? But yet you making money on your lunch break, right? It's not just breaking down. That's my lunch going on. It's breaking down. It's making me money, right? In that regards, in terms of how I'm trading it, it's producing capital. So again, I'm premising it for that reason, so you guys can see it, hear it, watch it, make it make sense for you guys. But it's still learning. It's going to become more clear over time. Trust me, this stuff's going to make sense to you guys, and you making money. You know, so we keep talking about this. Find another scenario where you could do that, and you can make this kind of money just by doing this. I'll wait. I'll wait. See what I'm saying? We can do this. So I just want to premise that, open up the scenario, have this little market midday recap discussion, see where the market's at. We still the market's still in the ambiguous state right here. And since yesterday I was with the Fed scenario. So this is where we at in the market. So as you see right here, that stock we just saw my FTR push through my level of what? My buy-in at 715. So I'm down 3 cents now, right? I'm not gonna panic here, even though I can go cover my position, but I'm already up like $300-400 in this stock. So right now, maybe down like maybe $30-40 right now, right? From my share account value. But obviously my portfolio on the day, meaning my daily portfolio, is still balanced out, where I'm not necessarily worried about that trade. Now, ultimately, if I was just trading aggressively to lock in a lot of big money here, obviously I would have probably went and go seen about this little trade and chose if I want to get out of it, I wouldn't. But I'm not, because 3 cents over my buy-in price is not nothing to be alarmed about. And just that fast, it went from 7.17 down to what? $7.12. That means I'm back in the money. You see what I'm saying? No need to panic when you know what you're doing. This is why you got to have what? Good mentality, good psychology, strong, understanding what you're doing in that moment, so you don't panic in the moment when the stock may go against you. No need for me to panic. My P&L for the day is showing what? $2,300 on the day. Right, my unrealized is at 38.79. I gave back $1,500 early this morning on a bad trade and turned that the lows to the downside. I didn't cover when I needed to, because I thought it was gonna keep going down, and I got up and started doing what? Some other stuff when I shouldn't have. Totally my mistake. In the real world, I would have done that. I got up and started packing up some, packaging up some packages for some people that got to drop stuff off to the post office. So I thought the stock was gonna keep trending down, and it turned out it didn't. Right, so when I was up, like $600, $700 in that lowest trade, I ended up coming down some. And I had another trade that I had a bad trade on. I think I forgot which one it was. It was I think it was Hertz. Yeah, Hertz. And I was in the money in that and turned around and did the same thing. So both those stocks together, when I got up and left my computer, turned around and be what? Bad trade. So I ended up giving back $1,500. Right. Outside of that, I would have been up, easily, on the day around about what? Near $4,000. Right. So again, that's a human mistake. I mean, I made that mistake by getting away from my computer at that moment, right? When I was already in the money, I turned around being out of the money, right? Because the stocks reversed on me and went the other way. Again, that's a part of the learning curve, though. You will learn this stuff as well. So no worries in even that regard. Again, so, that's just the market. So we saw the market. Remember I was just talking about how the market's going to end up turning again and going back down, because that's the level of resistance what the market had been at that day at 1.3. Now the market's at what? 1.08. That means what? It's going back down. Y'all see indicated by what? Those red arrows. The financial markets in terms of Qs, they're going back down. The SPY in terms of average value is going back down. The average will go up and down throughout the day, but ultimately you see that it's trending back down again from where it was when it opened up at 2 o'clock. When the algorithm box came in and started buying, more people in Wall Street start buying again, but it's not sustaining basically at this point. It's headed down. All right, here we go again on ACAS. When they go down again, we seeing right here from the hit my next level of what? Resistance on the way to the downside. It's flirting with more to that downside. I'm gonna stay in that short once again. So all this stuff is just learning. It's just learning experience. You guys are seeing it in real time. So get excited about seeing that you can do this stuff, because you guys can. Right, and nothing complicated about this, besides the fact that you just just hadn't done it yet. Right, obviously with the proper knowledge and training and mentoring and whatever. Right, so ain't nothing really discuss. hard about this. No, the stop loss is not automatic, brother Gordon or Kareem. It's not automatic. You have to actually set it manually. So the same thing, but you would, as soon as you set your buy-in price and you get accepted, you just turn around and add your what? Stop loss to it. Right? So you put your stop loss, obviously, whatever percentage value that you're willing to lose in that trade underneath that what? That buy-in price. So if you want your stop loss to be very tight, you can set it at 1%. Meaning if you got $1,000 on the table invested in a particular stock, whatever share count you bought in that, it doesn't matter as long as you got $1,000 in that, right? You set your stop loss at 1%. You have that's a real tight stop loss. That means you ain't think about the stock even pulling back not once. You think it's going to go straight up, right? So if it does pull back obviously at any moment to 1%, that means at most how much money do you lose? So in that moment, that means if you lose 1% of $1,000, meaning if the trade go against you on a tight stop loss of 1%, how much money did you lose in that moment? So what's 1% of $1,000? Somebody do the math on that real quick. How much money do you lose in that moment? What's 1% of $1,000? Somebody type that in the back chat. What's 1% of $1,000? 1%. There you go. $10. Now, if you went and bought a scratch-off ticket and you got none of them, you put $1,000 in that scratch-off, do you get any of your money back? Crickets. You bet on a dice game with your cousin Leroy there shooting dice, and you put $1,000 on there and you crap out, do you get any of your money back? Crickets. You bet on a football game, baseball game, basketball game, whatever the case, right, on your favorite so-called team that you claim to be your team. You ain't get no money off that team. Really, they ain't sending you checks in the mail, but you claim it's your team to the point you won't bet money against them, and you lose your bet. Do you get any of your money back? Crickets. If I put my money in the stock market to grow, other aspects of money and currency from it, and I actually have mechanisms in place where I actually can what? Procure and save my capital and protect my capital in the event the stock goes against me, can I get my money back? Pretty much. If anything, I have a loss of what? $10 on a 1% stop loss. So at most I lose what? $10. I go back to the next trade, what? $990. And then that next trade turns out to be what? A winner. Or you might just buy back into that other stock you just lost 1% on at a more lower price, and then eventually the stock starts doing what? Going up to the upside. So you get your money, your $10 back, and then what? Plus some, plus tax. So you protect it. So what's your excuse? You protect it. You got fail-safe mechanisms in place. You got opportunity all around you. You got fundamental values that you can read and learn the insides of a particular company, whatever the case. Ain't none of this stuff hidden from you. Ain't no so-called where you can get information and they can't, or they get information and you can't, right? Everybody gets privy to some of the same stuff unless you once again got somebody working on the inside of the company that's inside the trade, which is illegal. A la Martha Stewart. But outside that, you can figure this stuff out on your own. You don't need them. You got cheat sheets and cheat codes all around. You got charts. You got indicators. You got graphs. You got FinViz. You got scanners. You got screeners to find all this stuff for you once you learn how to make sense of the basic stuff. Now you just kind of come in, look at your scanner, look at your screener, and you make it happen. So real quick, let me go to my scanner. Right, y'all know I got black box scanner. Right, I got TradingView. Right, so black box here. Let's look at the black box scanner real fast, and I got to get out of here. I got to get to this mailbox. So quick, last little 10 minutes, I'm gonna get out of here. 2:30, I'm gonna get out of here. So real quick, right? So let's look at on my scanner here. So if we look at the scanner here, right? This stock, right? This scanner here pretty much finds stocks that's running for the day, either to the downside or to the low side. So it does all the work for me. Basically, it does all the work for me. So real quick, let's look at this stock right here. All right, so the biggest gainer on the day thus far in terms of weighted value average is ECYT. Right, I didn't play this stock obviously, but it's running. Let me just show you how important it is to have a good scanner once you start making money, so you can be able to afford a good scanner, right? Because y'all know I got, I'm affiliate of Black Box Stocks right here, so I actually am affiliate with this company here, so I can actually help you get on when you get to, to the point where you can actually make you some money to buy you a scanner to go out and find stocks for you to make you some money, right? Just buying a tool, same way a construction worker shows up with a toolbox, a tool belt full of what? Tools. He spent his money on what? To make his job easier for him. He don't show up to do, construction on the job site with a wooden plank, or just with some, with some leads or whatever. He show up with screwdrivers and jackhammers and everything else, right? Give me the same way at me in terms of it and investing, right? I use money I spend money to make money, basically. I invest back into my tools I need to be able to trade properly, right? So look at this trade real quick, ECYT. This morning, we gave an alert on this stock, right? Meaning the algorithm bot and this parameters that this thing is set up for to be able to catch these stocks with all the different things that it weighted this against, pretty much that it parallels to different attributes that this stock may be a runner for the day with. And it gives a reading saying, okay, at this point, this stock is a favorable buy, right? And we actually going to give you the actual buy-in price to buy in at. So in this moment at 9:13 this morning, we gave an alert on Black Box to say price at the alert at how much? $4.60. We gave an alert on this stock. Cheat code, cheat code. Instantly what happened was, and this is pre-market, it's still in pre-market, the market opens up to 9:30. So instantly at $4.60 at 9:13, the stock jumped up and ran to like $4.70 $4.77. So instantly in that moment, you picked up it easily about what, 17 cents a share. And this stock is trading at like $4 a share. So if you had pretty good money in it, you could buy a lot of shares, right? Let's say you bought 1,000 shares. Again, going back to that 1,000 share reality. So you bought 1,000 shares at $4.60. How much did that cost you? $4,600, right? So and just in that moment, you just want to scalp this stock in like literally minutes, right? You picked up 17 cents a share literally in about 2 or 3 minutes. You just picked up $70 out of those 1,000 shares in literally 2 or 3 minutes. You just picked up $170 in 2 or 3 minutes on a scalp trade. And the market ain't open up yet. Let's just say you decide to hold the stock though, right? Because you think it's gonna go up today because whatever that gave us, allowed us to pick this stock that's gonna be a running today because of all the different parameters like news, its previous chart history, more volume coming to the stock than normally. All these things that add up to being a good trade for the day. You say I'm a hold, right? So guess what? The stock pulled back down to your buy-in price. See how I came back and hit that level of support? That means that was a level of support. That alert that it gave $4.60 a share as a level of support. It hit it, bounced off of it again, and went straight up. As soon as the market opened up, what the stock did, guys, that thing shot up. Went all the way up literally to like what, $5 and what? About $5 around about 70 cents a share. Excuse me, not $5.70 per that movement. So you picked up in that moment how much a share in profit. So from 460 to 570, how much money did you just make in that little bit of moment in the time per share on your trade? Somebody type that in the back chat. So from $4.60 when you bought in that, and it went up to like $5.70 right here, how much money did you just make in profit per share in that trade? And literally about from 9:30 to let's say 10:10 or 10:15. How much money did you just make a share? So 570 minus 460. How much money did you just make a share, guys? Somebody throw that number in the back chat. 570 minus 460. 570 minus 460. Real quick, I'm gonna get out of here at 2:30. I gotta get out of here. I want to see if you guys keep it up here. I know it sounds like elementary stuff, but you guys got to see the power in this, man. You got to see this stuff for what it is, right? So in that moment, 100% right, Brother Gordon, Brother Cream. So how much total did you make in that trade in literally about 45 minutes? So from 9:30 to 10:15, we just say 10:15. So in 45 minutes, how much money did you walk away from the market with in that moment if you sold up there at the top? Because we did had indicators to show that it was getting ready to kind of turn over and go to the downside. I'll break that stuff down later too. But how much money did you just make in that trade in 15 minutes? Excuse me, 45 minutes of trading. 110 times 1,000 shares is how much? Somebody do the math on that real quick. Let me know what that bottom line is looking like. How much money you just make in 45 minutes of trading? Too easy. That means you made $1,100 in 45 minutes of trading the market with a scanner that gave you the indicator that, not knowing that we're going to go that high, we don't know, but it told you that at this moment, this stock is very favorable, that it may go to the upside. You're going to be bullish because we weighted a lot of different protocols and parameters to make sure that told us that this stock probably going to be bullish on the day, because we know that it might have had news today. Now, here's what's interesting. Real quick, somebody in the back chat. We're going to do this like a team. Somebody go pull up this ticker symbol, ECYT. Find out if they got any news on this stock that came out today to make the stock be available to be traded today, or what made it prove that it was going to be bullish today? Somebody go put that up real quick, right? Yeah, so $1,100. So yeah, you're 100% right, brother Gordon. So yeah, add another zero to that, brother Jai, brother Jermaine. You want to add another zero to that? You would have been up like $1,100. You've been up $1,100 in 45 minutes in trading this stock this morning with this cheat code, meaning this cheat scanner here that gave me the indicator to buy this stock this morning. So if I bought this stock this morning, if I wanted to, I had the choice if I didn't. If I had bought this stock this morning at 460 with 1,000 shares, right, and wrote it up to like 570, it ended up going higher. You'll see it went higher now. It's up there now, like 497. That's the mean if I didn't even choose to sell. But if I chose to sell at that moment there in 45 minutes of trading, I would have made $1,100 with 1,000 shares. Right now, if I would have held it and say, you know what, it still got a lot of bullets, inside it, because the previous chart history showed me that stock has more room to run. It's up, it's showing that it want to go higher. It's going higher right now. We see that talking, the stock going higher right now, squeezing higher right now. It's squeezing shorts right now, squeezing through shorts. So they just squeeze through the whole dollar market, $6 here. Now it's up to $6.04, $6.07 a share right now. Excuse me, $6.07, per its daily value. So if I'd held this stock up to that price point, that means I would have been up $1.85 a share. Excuse me, what? 460 to what? $6. So how much is that? That's $1.60 a share, right? So $1.60, right? A share times 1,000 shares. That means I would have been up what? $1,600 in a matter of how many hours? So from 9:30 to what? Right now, 2 o'clock, right? 2:25. So we talking about what? 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30. So in 5 hours in the market, and 5 hours in the market, I'm up $1,600. I made $1,600 in 5 hours. You made $700-800 in 8 hours on the job. Sweating, being, going through all that stress. $1,000. Let's say you make $1,000 in a day on your job. $1,000 a day. 9 hours. I made $1,600 in 5 hours. Who winning, who losing? Who working hard, who working smart? And I had a scanner that gave me the buy-in price, told me when to buy in at, what time and where to buy in at. And all I had to do was just kind of listen to, the parameters of, trusting the algorithm that make that computation and show me that this stock was going to be aggressive for the day. And I'm eating all that upside up today. So guess what? So that's the daily news, right? Brother Trade Stocks, that trying to say Insight announced a proposed public offering of common stock. Now, typically when somebody offering, sometimes the stock sells off. In some cases, it don't. That means that people that love this company know that they're going to use that money that they're going to get from this public offering to grow the company more than what it's at right now. That they're doing good by the investors to the point where investors say, I'm going to hold on to the stock because they got a lot of big growth and upside on the way. Right? So, this is what I'm talking about. So let me pull up the news real quick on ECYT. Let's see if they got it in the daily news, right? ECYT. That's how you guys are going to know how to figure this stuff out. It ain't nothing complicated about this. So real quick. Yes, at $4.20, they had a public offering this morning, right? At $4.20, right? It proposed a public offering, right? Of the common stock, right? And the stock skyrocketed. It went to the upside. The day before, they had news, right? That what happened? They had a new board of directors. They appointed a guy named Patrick. What is his name? Patrick. Hold up. Let me pull it back up on TD Ameritrade here. They appointed name Mercado, Patrick Mercado, to the board of directors. So that's positive news. So whoever this guy is was bullish enough to the investors to be like, oh, we changed around the guard a little bit. We got some guys gonna come in and shake up the company and bring some money back to the company. So that was a bullish catalyst or bullish news value that brought the stock up, which also caused it today to what? Even be a little bit more aggressively bullish, even with them offering a public offering on the stock. And now the stock is trading up here at $6 and some change, all the way down from literally like $4, like $4.25 up to where it's at now. So this is why I say, man, we already doing this stuff in a lot of ways, guys. When we're doing it with our favorite little so-called sports team, we already knowing the stats. We already know the history. We're doing all this stuff, this technical analysis on the player, all this fundamental analysis on the player. or a team. And then you finna sit here and tell me you can't do this for a company to invest in terms of stock that's gonna make you some money. When you do that for your favorite player or your favorite football team or your favorite whatever, are you making any money by knowing all these different stats? I'll wait. You got all this knowledge. You argue with your friends down in the barbershop and at the hair salon. Oh no, we got this. We just acquired this new player for 38 million. We got this much market cap. We got all this. You breaking down all the stats down like a scientist. Ain't making no money from it. Nothing but emotional high. So you mean to tell me you can't learn to do this in terms of investing in the stock market and learn all these same things that we just sitting here talking about? We sat here, read the news on the stock, find out what was happening, what make the stock may probably be running. We saw her saw it on the scanner that gave us actually told you when to buy in, what time, and how, where at. And you finna sit and tell me you can't do this. You're gonna literally make an excuse why you can't find a way to make some money by pushing some buttons and reading over some charts and reading over some news. When you already do that for free for your so-called favorite little football, basketball, baseball, hockey team, Olympic player, whatever. Our priorities are not in the right place if you sit here and tell me that you can't do this. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm going to end it on that note. Let's get our priorities together. Let's get our priorities in the right place. Let's get our mind right. Let's get our bank accounts right. Let's get our children's future generation value right. Let's leave something behind for our babies. Let's build something. Let's network together. Let's network so it can turn into a net worth. Y'all know my slogan. Network should turn into a what? A network should turn into net worth. The strength of your network should turn into some net worth. If you ain't making money around the people you hang around, then you need to change your circle, period. If the people you hang around is not making money or procuring ways to build capital and wealth, you need to change your circle. End of discussion. There's no law in life that's saying you need to hang around people just on the strength, just because. Ain't nothing growing from that circle. And you just in to tell me that, you keeping it real. You keeping it real broke. That ain't mean you got to give up on them and just defriend them. No, I mean that you need to spend your time doing more what? Productive things. And when you have free time to shoot the breeze, you can, because what? You already made your money, basically. You didn't got your money. You didn't went and got you a bag for the day. Then you can come back and shoot the breeze. Right? Get your bag first, then come back and shoot the breeze. Don't go out there and shoot the breeze first, then go out there and be scrambling hard to figure out how to get a bag when you waste a good time of the day or good moments. When you need to be kind of studying, reading, or building with some good people, you done wasted the kind of just shooting the breeze. I'm just saying, right? We got to be better than that, right? So again, just want to kind of share that. So I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Let me get out here and go make these run these errands and get these guys their products and stuff. And I'll come back on. Obviously we got the Urban Economic Empowerment Show tonight for some of you guys who may be new to us. Make sure you tune in tonight. I don't know if we're gonna have the show tonight or not. We may have it. I have to check with Brother Garfield, find out if not. But if you guys may be new to the platform altogether, we have a Wednesday show where we talk about urban economic empowerment. Talk about how the ways to kind of get capital, how to clean up your credit, how to get government grants, how to get your business off the ground with the LLC. We got people that are very astute to these particular areas, that have mastered a lot of these areas that can help you on your way to get yourself in a better financial scenario, a better financial situation or setting, right? People that's going to bet on you for a change. They have your best interest in mind, right? I deal with the stock side of the house, right? So again, I'm just sharing what I've been able to learn thus far. Y'all know I never claim to be some kind of guru or some person that knows it all. I'm far from that. I'm a humble brother. I have dignity and integrity. I want to share what I know and offer it to you guys so you could be better than where I'm at this point. Pretty much eliminate your mistakes by, from the mistakes I've made in it thus far in the game, the kind of strengthen your learning curve, basically. And that's what, I find value in, right? So again, for you guys may want to catch our show on the Wednesday nights. It's every night on every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock on Black News 102, which is a YouTube channel. Our brother Sarnetta Studios. Black News 102 is his channel that we do pretty much our urban economic empowerment show on every Wednesday at 6 o'clock. So if you want to tune in, hear about how to get your credit cleaned up, how to get student loan, debt eliminated, stuff like that. Tune in. You want to learn how to get your government grant, right? You want to learn how to get your business started, LLC, trademarks, patents, all that stuff. We got a team of people that's sharp with that. Sister Monica, she's actually probably part of the bill right now. She ain't left yet. She's one of the, this woman is awesome. She'll give from the ancestors. right? Very knowledgeable sister, right? Sister got a military background. She knows about finances. She dealt with big money, right? Big contracts. She knows exactly what she's doing. And she got your best interest in mind, right? Again, it's many other people are part of the team too. Sister Cheryl Stevenson, sharp when it comes to government grants. Super sharp, right? Got some pretty decent favorable clients underneath her belt too. Some of them y'all might know, personalities and so forth, right? So these people, once again, going to war on your behalf to help you find a way to get you some money, right? So, tune in if you want to watch the show. If not, once again, just still subscribe to the channel, his channel. Also, subscribe to the Dagger Squad channel. Y'all probably seen the Dagger Squad. Y'all probably heard about, the Dagger Squad itself, Amara Squad, people like that, groups like that. So, if you want to be a part of that, Black knowledge and learn about history and culture and science and stuff like that. And, again, there's more than just history, knowledge, and culture too. It's about what? Financial building too. We want to canvas all aspects of our lives and put it back together like it was supposed to be before it got turned upside down through everything that happened to us, especially for for all my Black investors in here. We don't need to kind of placate and downplay our scenario, right? We know what time it is. All right, it's our time to get back on our grind and get ourselves going back in the right direction. Because ain't nobody coming to save us, ain't nobody coming to throw us no bags, ain't nobody coming to throw us no life preservers, none of that stuff. We got to do it on our own, right? So here's the opportunities that we're offering. Let's get it. Let's get it. No excuses. Let's get it. All right. So on that note, guys, I'm going to end this bill. I appreciate you guys tuning in. I just want to share my market analysis, what I saw from the midday perspective, share a little bit of my world, what I'm doing, what I'm watching, and it's kind of, feed off one another, right? That's what we're here for. We're here to learn from one another and use this information wisely to our benefit, right? So that's what it's all about. Once again, network should turn into net worth, right? So that's why this is important. So 100% right. There you go, Brother Derek Hartwell. It's a testimony, success story right in the back chat, right? Brother Garfield helped him get his credit from 450 to a 788. Who winning, who losing? Brother Derek is winning. Brother Derek is winning, right? He winning. He took a chance on himself. Not necessarily Garfield. He took a chance on himself. Invested in himself to get a chance to clean up his back end, so he'd be in a position where he can make some power moves when it calls said and done. So the brother's winning right now, and he's gonna use that opportunity to leverage himself properly with his credit value to make some big boy moves. So this kind of stuff, once again, should make everybody excited, and you should rally behind the opportunity that's afforded to us to be able to make these kind of moves, to take care of us, the things that we've been wanting to do. So I keep talking about it. I keep going over and over, but but this is why we do what we do, guys. This is why I'm excited about this opportunity. This is why I'm excited about sharing this opportunity with you guys and learning from you guys in the same breath. So power and profit to you, Brother Derek. Power and profit to you, family, and power and profit to everybody that tuned in and watched this build this afternoon. I appreciate you guys again showing up, sharing a little bit of your world with me, and also as well as I share a little bit of my world with you guys. Right, and we'll see you guys all this evening. Probably if we have the show. If not, I may come on and do like a little evening, market breakdown of what we saw in the market and kind of find out, where the market ended up on the day. We'll see how it turns out, whatever. But ultimately, again, once again, I thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll build again, right? So as I always say, Uncle Jobsonell, power and profit to all. I send my best to everyone, and we'll tune in again. I'll see you probably later on this afternoon, this evening. All right. So I'll see you guys later. Power and profit, family.